Hey everyone, welcome to episode 98 with your favorite ladies from Petty Party Podcast. It's your girl Just Nick checking in.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Paulette coming out the set. What's good? We
Hey,
back
y'all.
in the studio. What's up?
Hey y'all, my name is Kodak Black, but when you see me, I'm white. Hey y'all, it's your girl Crystal, aka Champagne. Paulette looks so confused, aka Champagne Chris, aka Chrissy F. Baby, please say the baby.
What up, y'all? It's Jori, aka Aliyah Gabor. Kodak Black Belt, I might fuck your white
wife. Thank you, Michelle.
Nah, just like it's Shelly, aka Egypt if you Nash. Dude, what's good, y'all? They say the best for last, like usual.
We really gotta get out of that
Hey.
saying, y'all.
Y'all do.
Nikki, you used it.
Y'all go
recently.
first.
No, I didn't. It
Y'all
was
go
Jori.
You did.
But
You
y'all see
definitely
today,
did.
I was mute. Y'all go first.
I let her have it.
I'm
I wasn't a
glad.
hater.
I'm like, I'm gonna let that go after last episode. So
Progress.
it's all good.
I feel like we've
Progress.
just been in the studio so much lately. I love it.
I
Yeah,
know.
we
I know
love
y'all
it.
glad to see us. I know Spider sick of us.
Is he?
I feel like he loves us here,
Top tier.
but it feels good to be back here again.
No, it does.
Feels good to be back in the yo-yo.
It does.
Okay, so I guess we can just go ahead and.
I have a question.
Yikes.
Okay.
Would y'all? Okay, I have a question. Would y'all have? And y'all answer if you want to answer, and if you don't have to answer, so you're not obligated to answer. However, if someone asked you to have a threesome right now, would y'all do it?
Who's the somebody?
If somebody asks you to have, just listen to the question. If someone asks you to
I
have
love
a
asking these
threesome right
questions in
now,
4K.
would y'all? I mean, it's just fun. Like I need to.
I mean, if it's with me, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, actually, I'm finna say something's gonna be so inappropriate. Jesus, you know how you think something in your head is like, oh, this is about to bang. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I can't even finish that sentence. You answer the question. Well, somebody was to ask you to have a threesome and you just said yes. Is that what this is about?
Y'all, apparently March
No,
3rd
no
was
one-
National Threesome Day.
Well, we missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We missed it.
We missed it.
Oh, I would.
Or that community missed it.
Anyway, but
Paulette ain't missed it, did you? Let's hear. How'd it go?
dang,
How'd it go?
Y'all gonna have me stop asking questions on this podcast when y'all flip it back on the person.
I
But-
answered. Not asking
Yeah.
questions you
don't wanna
comfortable
answer.
answering.
I am answering it. If y'all would let me answer, I would have a threesome. I mean, but it just depends on who are the key players. That's it.
Okay.
I would.
Sounds good. I feel it.
I feel like for me, it's too many logistics that goes behind a threesome at this point. Like maybe when I was younger, like I just didn't give a fuck and I wasn't thinking about things. But now it's like, okay, like are we switching condoms? We're using the same condom on each other. It's like,
Oh, these are good questions.
it's things that
Are
like
y'all using condoms? Hell.
are y'all using condoms? Like it's are we doing like testing before we go into this, or are we just going
And
into this
that's why your answer
blindly?
should be no. Yeah, that's why your answer shouldn't be no.
So there's a lot that goes into a threesome
Yeah,
now for me at this
honestly.
point.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. I was about to just say, yeah, ain't none of that shit crossed my mind. Because I'm
Mm.
like, damn. Not there being a whole, what's it called, standard operating procedures.
No, right.
SOPs and threesomes.
Literally, I was just about to say that for real.
I'm dead.
But-
Yeah, we're whack. We're washed.
Not washed.
Speak for yourself.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
There are
I'm
other
so sick.
there are
Okay,
other
Raw
things
Patrol.
in the sex life other than threesomes. I don't understand like why we got to go to threesomes. There is so much more you can do with
so
sex.
what?
Yeah.
What other
So
stuff?
what,
Other
Nikki?
stuff would
People
you
love
do?
to
The
sex
dominatrix. Like
Cool.
there's
So
a
would you do
lot.
that
Yeah, I would.
right now?
I mean, that's not
That's not bad. Like
Yeah.
I didn't. Who said it was bad?
No, we're just saying, like, I feel like that's mild when Yeah. you think about things of what you can do
On
in
the
the sex
spectrum
room.
of sex,
Yeah.
it is.
There's a lot that goes into that.
I mean, yeah, we're
I
saying
know.
mild.
Tell us
like,
about it.
not-
I'm
There's a
talking
lot-
about like
No, but if
tying
you really,
up, like
if you know about domination, like
Giving young
it's
kitty.
you tie people up, you
Cat.
spank them, you do a lot of
No,
stuff. Like
I know, but I feel like
doesn't
that's,
like.
I feel like more
You know
people are
what I'm
open to
talking
that than
threesomes.
threesomes.
Do you think
No,
so? I don't think
absolutely
so.
not.
No,
People are, okay.
that's a different type of energy.
no, because you have to think
Is
about it.
it?
Usually
Yes,
a
dominatrix.
You got to think about it. Dominatrix is usually the woman in control. So I feel like there's a lot of
every
men.
time.
No, it's not. A man's in
Not
control
every time.
too.
You did not watch 50 Shades of Grey?
But is that dominatrix? I don't.
Yes,
Yes.
dominatrix is dominatrix.
There's a
It's
dom
not
and there's a sub.
gender specific.
Okay, that's true.
Like, yeah.
But when I think about dominatrix, I think about the woman being in control, and how many men are really gonna let a woman have that much control over them in
Girl,
sex?
a lot.
Stop.
People pay good money to have.
I know,
No.
dominated.
But-
Someone literally
men
asked
we've-
us,
the men we've
asked
talked
us for
to.
that and
Yeah.
offered us minuscule amounts for it. And I'm
Not
like,
literally.
fuck?
Chump change.
No, he definitely came up and was like,
I have that on video,
he
actually.
asked 3 of
I
us to
recorded- I
dom
recorded
him.
it.
Well, I
Yeah.
looked at it
That's
too.
It was
Interesting.
random. And he offered weed.
It was
like,
giving-
Weed?
No, hold on, wait.
Dominatrix?
Sex
It-
for drugs?
No.
So you put us on OnlyFans or some shit.
No, it was definitely giving I have a fetish for black girls. That's what it was
Yeah.
giving more than anything.
It was a random
Like,
white guy.
It was definitely giving I have a fetish.
And wasn't he from Austin or some shit?
Was he drunk?
No.
I don't know. He was.
I don't know.
yeah,
Probably
I
on
don't
No,
know.
he
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
drunk.
white
Probably
boy.
on drugs. I don't know.
Literally. Had to be to ask that stupid ass
Yeah.
question.
But he seemed lucid though. But yeah, it was for like 2 G's. Like, boy, get out of here.
2 grams.
I mean,
Sex.
I don't think he
Interesting.
put a.
No, he did. He did. I had the video. He definitely
2
did.
G's of weed.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Damn, the
yeah.
disrespect.
No, it was very disrespectful.
I thought you were talking about $2,000. Like,
Girl,
not-
no, he didn't try to
girl.
entice us with
2
weed.
Gs.
Like, mm-mm.
Because I think he was like, all I got is like 2 G. Like, no.
He was just really trying to vibe, and we're just like,
Yeah.
bro,
You
what
know
made
what?
you think
Are you
that's
sure
what-
he didn't mean $2,000?
No, he
No,
said
he didn't.
he said
Oh,
marijuana.
You know what?
marijuana.
Actually, I don't
I
like
had the
that.
video.
Because
Got
here's the
it.
thing. If it had been another race, do you think they would have offered them weed?
No. They wouldn't offer shit.
That's
They
all
would
he had to
expect
offer.
You to,
I'm not gonna lie, but he didn't look like he had much to offer, anyways.
I mean,
I
yeah.
feel like that was probably the most.
I think he
could
was like a
offer.
Rolling Stone. I think he
Yeah,
was like
or
living in his
no,
car. or
like
some
yeah,
shit.
like
Yeah, he said he's
he
just
travels
driving.
from place to place,
Yeah.
so
Oh.
it was giving like.
so y'all would have been road
Y'all gonna
treats.
tie him up in the car?
Anyways, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the moto. And for those of y'all who probably just catching this on YouTube, and this is y'all's first, maybe second episode, our motto is like our advice column. So if you do want to write in, you could catch us at pettyparty12814@gmail.com. And
Or
yeah,
DMs, whichever.
or
one.
DMs. You know, you could slide in our DMs as well. But this motto, okay, so she didn't say any names, so we're safe. Okay, so it goes, hey ladies, okay, this is long but good. I've been friends with a young lady, let's call her Kim, since high school, and we started hanging out tough since 2018. There has been little things that I noticed about her that I've told her about that I didn't like, for example. Okay, Kim wants to be invited to things that me and my separate friends do, but when she does things with her other friends, I'm not invited. She follows my friends on IG and has some of their phone numbers, which isn't a problem to me, but when I befriend one of her friends and exchange numbers with them, she doesn't like it. This past weekend, her friends and mine all meet up at a lounge and we were having good times, taking shots, dancing, and smoking hookah. One of her friends, let's call her Stacy, moves closer to me and her and I begin talking. Stacy is sitting in front of me and Kim is behind me. Stacy talks about her birthday coming up and tells me a little bit about it and says she could send me the deets and ask me for my number. Before I could say anything else, I feel liquid fall on my face. As I'm processing what happened, I hear Stacy yelling at Kim saying, that's fucked up. Why would you do that? Then I realized Kim poured her drink on me, and by that time, she was gone. I then texted her and said, you was wrong and you petty. She responds with, hush, it's not like that, and y'all could be friends. I don't care. I didn't respond. 30 minutes later, she called me and says I was drunk. It wasn't like that. I value your friendship more than Stacy's, etc. The next day, she literally calls me from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and I don't respond. The next day, I decided that no conversation was necessary, so I texted her and said, what you did was disrespectful. No one I call my friend would do that, and it's best you go your way and I go mine, respectfully. Her response was, okay, you could have said that the other night we was on the phone and then accused me of talking about her behind her back. SMH, how would you ladies have handled the situation outside of beating her ass? And if your friend
Glad she
disrespected,
clarified. What?
and if your friend disrespected you, can that friendship be repaired? Thank you for your advice.
So it was literally over like. Hold on. Am I
Why did the drink get poured? Because somebody invited somebody to something?
Yeah, so basically, like,
Called her friend was
Kim's
jealous.
friends invited the person writing in to like a birthday party. I guess she doesn't want them to like cross paths. I
That's
don't
weird
know.
So
because
she was mad that you're at the birthday party.
No, she
No.
wasn't at the birthday party. She was mad that she
Yeah,
was about to
got
get
invited.
invited.
But that's weird because how you want to mix with my friends, but then when I want to mix with your friends, you have an issue.
But there
So-
are people that are like that.
Yeah, there are
There are
people like that.
people
Very
because they're
possessive.
weird.
They gatekeep, I
They're
guess,
weird.
friendships.
But
But
very possessive.
So
of
then
her friends.
you
Weirdo
can't fuck with me and my
behavior.
friends if I can't fuck with your
Yeah,
friends.
right. It's
Like,
weirdo
fuck?
behavior.
yeah.
Where was the setting at? Like, where were they at when
A
she got the
lounge.
drink
a
poured?
hookah lounge?
So the birthday hadn't even came.
No, she was just
No.
getting
Oh, wow.
invited to it.
But to pour a drink,
My thing is, yeah, why are you
that's
pouring a drink on me?
excessive.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
That's
because
that's-
that's happened to me before, and that shit is like.
Yeah.
that's grounds
But,
for.
you know,
Oh my god.
That
mean,
sounds
it
like a lot of
depends.
jealousy. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
So for
She's
me
not your
personally, if anyone that can throw a drink on you,
Yeah.
It's not your
fucking
friend.
They do not fuck with you.
They don't fuck with you at all.
It was
They
like
either want
drunk
you to
or
hit them
not.
or walk away and be friends.
Yeah, it's like
That's it.
you want to ruin my night. You want to ruin my outfit. You just want to ruin everything over what an invite to a party that I may or may not go to.
may or may not even go
That's
to.
crazy.
And my thing is, I don't like when people try to blame stuff on alcohol because it's like, nah, sis, like to a certain extent, you had some type of issues, maybe in the back of your head, you felt like you needed to throw a drink in my face. Like, you don't get there overnight just like nothing. Like,
I'll be honest, I do not think that she was under the influence. She soberly did that. She
Oh,
was
well, yeah.
jealous. Like, that's really, listening to this moto, she was just a jealous friend. And unfortunately, I personally do not think that you should continue with the friendship because honestly, that can lead to other things. Because if she can do that in public, what else can she do?
But you know,
So
I feel
just
she
What was her
handled it
question?
well.
Was she wrong?
Yeah, she said, how
How
else
would
would
we
you
have
handle
handled
it?
it?
I think she
I
handled
just
it.
told you how you
handled it
should
well.
handle it.
I think she handled it well because she said
Yeah.
it herself. She's like, I didn't feel like there was any conversation that needed to be had. And I
Mhm.
completely agree with you.
Mhm.
You thought about it for a few days
Yeah.
and you realize like y'all can't be friends. And I think she handled it well. I mean, personally, I probably would have found her after she threw that drink on me and hit her up a couple
Yeah.
times. But other than that,
But sometimes when when someone throws a drink on you, it is kind of hard because it's kind of hard to gauge if it was like an accident. or
Yeah.
not. Especially like in a club, especially in a section when it's crowded. It's been a lot of times where like,
So many things have fallen
Yeah.
on
But
me.
it's a difference between
No,
spilling
no.
a drink and pouring a drink on somebody.
well, I mean, that's her perception. So to her, she thinks
no,
it got
but
poured
Stacey
on her.
was telling her, or Stacey, the other friend, was telling Kim that it was fucked up what she did because Stacey saw it.
happening. Because I
Because
think
Kim was
I
I think
behind
it was-
her.
Yeah, so like she was sitting down and like somebody came up behind her and she saw it.
Because
Versus
Kim was
like,
behind her, Stacey was in front of her. Stacey was actually able to gauge what actually happened.
Yeah. And people that do that, they know what they're doing. I
Pour a
remember it
whole
was
drink
me.
on somebody.
I'm not gonna
like,
And then
I
it
was
run
getting
away.
a shot in my mouth, and all of a sudden I saw the bottle on my face in contest.
all I said, get shot in your mouth. I was like,
shot,
a
like
gun?
bottle shot, and all of a sudden the bottle turned and it's all over my face.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
that's actually
that's
that's
different.
different.
No,
Because that I can
No,
see how
I've done that.
That's
I've-
accidental spillage.
I've
No,
done
it
that
wasn't
before.
accidental. Those girls were mad because I came in the section with somebody.
Okay, no,
Okay,
let me
but
say
I'm
this.
just saying
I've
in
done
general,
that before.
Nah,
I have
Paulette.
easily, like, I was supposed to pour a shot into someone's mouth.
on
And
someone's
no,
face.
I know, but I'm saying
Okay,
I was supposed
yeah,
to pour it in
then
someone's mouth,
forehead or-
but I was so drunk, I was like seeing like quadruple. And so I thought I was pouring it into her mouth, and it ended up just going all over her face and clothes.
Yikes. I don't know about
How
the
did
clothes,
you get from
though.
mouth to forehead?
But I'm not gonna lie, I don't like when people try to pour
No,
shots into my mouth
sorry.
I don't
anyways
either.
because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, 8 out of 10, it
It's gonna
always gets on
spill.
my face.
Yeah.
Like, please just give it to me. I'll do it
Oh.
myself. And even when I do it myself, I do it
Sometimes
too.
I
So
miss,
it's like,
yeah.
give me a
Just give
cup.
me
Please give me a cup so I can drink it myself. Thank you. But
Yeah, no, I think you handled this well, girl. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's not your friend.
no.
Call it what it is. And it's not even just your friend that she threw the drink on you. The fact that she doesn't want you to branch out enough with other people, like you're able to have different groups of friends and make it all
No,
work.
literally.
Yeah. I also think it's different when like I think it's really, really weird when like people cut friends off without like saying anything. If that's your real friend, the fact that you actually had a conversation with her and then you decided, okay, like I can't do this, I think by all means.
I don't even think she owed her a conversation, even if she didn't.
No, I don't think she did either because there's justified reason behind it. Like I
Mhm.
think it's weird when girls
Like,
like
nothing happened. Like there's nothing that
you don't know what
transpires.
happened
Yeah.
and like all of a sudden y'all just beefing. Like
Yeah,
what
no, that's very weird.
happened? What happened
Yeah.
to communication? But you know what? I see a lot of that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to tell you what you did to cut you off, and I don't really agree with that. Like I don't.
That's very
because it's weird to me.
toxic.
Like that is kind of toxic because it's just like. Because in a sense, I get it. Like, but at the same time, it's like, bro, if we're friends, why you couldn't just have a conversation?
Yeah,
and tell
our
you what
generation
upset-
praises that type of behavior, and it's
Yeah,
like, no, if
very
y'all are
strange.
real life friends,
Just
I feel
But-
like y'all deserve to have a conversation.
I think there's back and forth. It depends because people also praise protecting your peace and like things like that. So it just depends on like which angle you look at it from. Some people look at it like I'm protecting my peace. Like me maybe coming to you and trying to like have that conversation with you is just gonna completely go out of hand. Like you also have to gauge what kind of person you're talking to.
But
Just
I feel
because
like,
I don't
but
know,
I
'cause
feel
is
like
it protecting your
can
peace? So you
protect
got
your peace by
random
having
you
a conversation
can.
and then be like, you know what? Unfortunately, like after this situation, I no longer
can't
want
move
to be
forward
friends with you
this.
because I this bothered. Like you know what I'm saying? Like say how you feel and then move on from
But
it.
not
how
everyone's
necessar-
gonna take
but
that.
necessary-
I don't
how
feel like people
necessary is it-
owe. Like I see where y'all are saying from both sides. Like in your head, you feel like maybe it would be nice of you to reach out, and explain to somebody why you won't be in their life at all. That would be nice, but I don't feel like that's owed. I don't think like me as a person, I don't think I owe anybody explanation. If I decide like I truly don't want to be friends with you no more, like I've already made up that decision, I don't owe you explanation for that. I feel like the only time I would have a conversation is if I want to work on things. But to have a conversation with
Potentially.
somebody and sit you down and be like, I don't want to be your friend. Like, are we 12? Like, I'm
No,
not gonna
I don't
do
think
that.
you have to
But not
sit
even
anybody
but-
down, but I just think that like if it is your friend, like if we just stop talking out of nowhere and you're just like, well, I don't owe Crystal an explanation. For me, it's gonna be like, okay, you can say you're protecting your peace, but it's like, how are you protecting your peace when you know, like, if I come around, if you see, it's gonna be animosity. There's random animosity from another person, regardless. So is that protecting your peace when you have this energy traveling in the world around your
It's not.
space,
But it
around
depen-
you?
I
So-
mean, I think it depends on how you take it. Because me personally, if you feel like you want to cut me off and you don't want to have a conversation about it, bye. Protect your peace. I don't want to talk about it. If you feel like you need to cut me off as a friend and you don't want to discuss it with me, you don't need to be my friend then. If you're not,
Yeah.
that means you don't want to
That's-
work it out with me.
yeah.
I don't want to talk to you about it. I don't care. Do whatever is best for you. We don't have to be cool.
but it's also
Period.
weird. That it's
It's
very
very
weird.
weird. And then-
For
to
them,
me,
it's not weird for me. It's weird for
I mean,
them.
that's the thing. I think that's the definition of it is like it, and I agree with y'all. If we talk about it, it's probably because like in the near future, I want us to be able to like get through this. But if we
Maybe
don't talk,
not.
No, I
but
don't
if
think
we
we
but
need
if we
that.
don't talk about it,
I don't think
then we don't need to be friends. And the thing is, it also, like I said, you got to gauge how the other person's gonna like take it. Y'all make it seem like it's a simple conversation to be like, hey, I'm gonna sit you down and be like, hey, I don't want to be your friend anymore. That's it. Y'all both
I'm
walk
not
away.
even saying
agreeing.
how it goes.
I don't
It's
even
just-
say that's the conversation has to go, but I think like if they did something to that hurt you or hurt your feelings, I think yes, let them know like, hey, this hurt my feelings or this made me feel a type of way. We don't even have to rekindle a friendship from here.
Yeah,
but just
like-
giving the courtesy, like, so to even let that person know like you can't be going around doing this because again, people's humors are different, people's intentions
Yeah.
are completely different. So I think like as just a general like a human thing to do would just be like let that person know like this is not okay. I don't think
Yeah,
that's like
like,
rekindle a relationship.
I've had
or
conversations
friendship.
with people and we're like, we may not be friends anymore, but I had to state my piece because at the end of the day, like, I need to get off my chest. At the end of the day, I agree wholeheartedly with Crystal saying you need to know you can't move like that. Because some people really go around in life acting like they don't know because people don't sit there and let them know you can't do X, Y, and Z. So I just feel like if y'all were really friends, okay, y'all can have a conversation. I get it. You don't owe them a conversation, but I just feel like if y'all were friends, why not? I just don't understand it. It's just, but hey, to each its own. Do what you want to do.
But to the girl, I think you handled it well.
Very well.
Yeah. Her second question was, can the friendship be repaired? Is there any repair in the friendship?
Yeah.
I do. Girl, I fought a friend and came back from it. You can come back from pouring drinks
But
on your
that's
face.
But-
you.
No.
My thing is like
but you can.
That's also going to depend on the other friend.
person.
You can.
It depends on the person because Paulette, you
from
said
that
you've done that
experience-
experience, but I could not fight a friend and be friends again.
I
Me
feel you,
neither.
but I mean, from that experience, but I feel like you can come back from that. Like I feel like if,
you can.
I'm just saying from experience. She's asking
There's
for this
things you
situation.
can come back from.
You can come back from that.
Yeah,
I feel like I
She
can
put
come back.
poison in your drink and now you have rashes all over your face. No,
Poison.
that's different.
I feel like you can come back from certain stuff, but me, I just don't fuck with you the same. So it's like we can come back from
Yeah.
it, but it's like I'm gonna very much hand you with a long spoon. But at the same time, it's like I'm one of those people where like if I'm gonna make it tense on purpose. So it's like we can
that's-
not on purpose, but it's
okay.
just like you're gonna know I don't fuck with you in the same way. So it's like, is it worth us trying to get back? Like if it's not gonna be the same, like I'm not about faking the funk. Like I can forgive you, but at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna fuck with you the same way, and it's gonna show by my actions.
Mm-hmm. I
So-
mean, it just depends. I feel like it's not necessarily on the person who's writing us, but the other friend, Kim. Because if Kim is gonna continue to be in that, like, continue the friendship where she doesn't want you to have other friends, then there's really no point in being friends with her because her actions are not gonna
Mhm.
change.
No,
You're gonna grow. You're gonna continue to want other friends, and if she's gonna be jealous of that, then you can't really keep a person like that as
Yeah.
your friend.
no, she's a weirdo. The not. I mean, that's cool if you don't want to mix friends, but like
Yeah.
you want to hang out with my friends so bad. But when I talk to your friends now, it's an issue. That's kind of weird to me. Like that's gonna
It
continue
makes it
being
seem
an
like
issue.
you've been talking about her.
It's not even that. It's just some
Not
people
even.
just don't. They're like Michelle's gatekeeping their friends, or they just feel like they have ownership over friends, and it's like, no. Or it's jealousy.
Do y'all
It's
care about
clear
girls like
as
that?
day.
Because I
Mean,
don't.
bro.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Some
I
girls
don't.
are just mean girls.
Do what you want
honestly,
to do. Like,
The only thing that it's not that I don't care about that, but one thing I don't get down with is when you previously talked about someone
oh,
and before you probably were friends with them, but you like were talking mad shit about them, and now that you've met them, now you're like acting like
shaking
their best
the
friend.
table,
Acting like their best
literally,
friend.
literally.
Now that is something that I do
We call
kinda
them
like,
Appianas.
Yeah.
Okay,
that is something that I do kind of side eye a little
weird.
bit, but
So the person talked shit about them before they became friends
it's
with them.
like.
Because
It's
I think
not a
I've-
personal situation. This is not an
No,
isolated event.
Okay, I'm just saying because
This
I
is
definitely feel
general.
like I've been in a situation where like before I became friends with somebody, people definitely gave like caution. So it's
Yeah, of
like, is that
course.
what y'all talking
No,
about?
but it's
Or,
okay.
like-
I'm talking about people that, like, for example, like they hear about a situation, they have all this like banter, and out of nowhere, dinner dates, link ups. It's like, wait, well, hold up.
But I feel like that's
What are
because
you
have y'all
doing?
ever hung out with somebody and someone's like, "Oh, you're so much cooler than I thought," like so and so, and it's
Yeah.
just like, excuse me?
I think that's so tacky because people,
it's very
Yeah.
tacky.
girl.
Keep it to yourself.
Can we stop
Like,
doing that? Oh
Yeah,
my God, I thought you was me. I thought you had
Yeah.
an attitude. Like,
Yeah, stop.
no.
Like,
that's not
Lame.
cute. Y'all need to
it's
stop
not.
saying
because
that.
some guys even do it to like, you look so mean, but you're so down to earth. No.
And a lot of that is not even.
Get
I used to
know
not
me.
like you.
I don't
Why?
smile. It causes wrinkles.
But not
Please.
even
Give me
just that.
hanger.
It has less to really do with like what they heard, but just their regular own perception.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, you think you look cute
Yeah.
today? You think I look cute today?
Yeah.
Yes, I do, bitch. Thank
Yeah.
you. Like what the fuck? Like you feel that way. Don't say other people felt that way. You felt that way.
Yeah.
No,
But-
facts.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah,
I
I agree with Nikki with what she said. So we're gonna cheers to that.
Period.
What did Nikki say?
I don't remember.
Don't be an Appiana. Like, I don't understand. Like, me personally, I just don't understand.
just
Because
cheering
women
it.
do that a lot. Like, y'all sit there and be around for certain conversations, adding all your
So-
2 cents, and then out of nowhere, you linking up and having dinner dates, and now y'all on trips together.
Bro,
Weirdo behavior.
Okay,
like,
wait.
wait. So
Okay,
I do want to say this though because
It's getting personal.
no, it's not personal, but
sounds like it.
But no, do y'all not know? Like, for
No, I
example,
feel
like,
you, Paulette.
I've
I
been
actually
around
feel
groups
you.
of girls, and you hearing shit out of nowhere. Whoa!
But see-
I was here. I was present for this conversation, but these actions ain't relating. They
actually,
they ain't together with what I heard y'all talking about. Y'all low key friends. Like,
Yeah, low key. Now that I really deep it, I'm really trying to think
Yeah.
about it. But I just
it
feel like,
makes you uncomfortable because I'm not gonna lie. Now I feel like when I'm not around y'all,
yeah.
I am the center of conversation.
But you know what it is? I think
No.
people have really got, sometimes people really lose themselves and trying to like talk shit. Like for instance, like say you're with a group of people, right? And then you hear somebody talking shit about somebody. If you're friends with this person, you don't have to talk shit about them to feel like to fit in.
Yeah.
People will do that. They'll talk shit about somebody that they know they're friends with just so they can fit in that conversation. But you're the one that looking crazy because now from this conversation you're going to hang out with that person.
oh my, and like, oh,
Now
that
you look
shit
crazy.
But my
just
thing is like
weird.
it's like that meme that be circling around and it's just like, don't talk to me about loyalty. Like I'm still holding secrets of people who I'm not even cool with. And it's just like, bro, a lot of
And
people
that-
do not
that-
stand on that because
that
for me,
oh.
it's like I'm never going to because I don't want it done to me. And a lot of people, as soon as
Period.
y'all fall out, they're ready to spill all your tea.
Girl.
It's like, girl, like, do you not know what I know about you?
My
And the
nigga.
fact that I'm sitting here mute, you better respect it.
Yeah.
Like, you better respect it, actually. Yeah.
People really be moving out of pockets like, I will end it today.
Okay, so look, how do y'all feel about?
I will end it
World
today.
War III.
I will
will
air
end
out
it.
the clip on motherfuckers. Keep trying me.
Okay, so
Bruh.
quick question: how do y'all feel like? Let's say y'all were friends with somebody, right? And y'all fell out, but maybe somebody like the same person that you were friends with before y'all fell out. You introduced them to like your circle. Somebody in your circle became friends with them, and now like y'all are not cool. You and the person are not cool, but you and your friends that you introduced them, they're cool now. Or like they're like.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been in a situation, and to me,
Yeah.
once I see how you treat the other person, what's stopping you from treating me like that? You know what I mean? Because if I met you through somebody else, like I'm not, it's not that I cannot be cool with you, but the thing is like I'm kind of looking at you differently because it's like, bro, if you can treat this person like that, what you gonna do with me and you fall out? So it's like I'm one of those people where it's just like I know what
Loyal
you're about, I
circle,
know what you
yeah.
can do. So it's like I'm gonna be a little hesitant because if you can do that to her and I met her through you, you gonna do it to me too. So I just get kind of reservations about
careful
that.
around
Yeah, like
people.
you have to be
See,
careful.
I feel like that's tricky because I've actually been in that situation, and well, maybe I had like a little bit more history on like the friendships, but I really couldn't do that just because in my head I'm like, I'm not about to sit here and turn against this person when I know y'all about to be friends again. Y'all gonna be friends again, and what's gonna happen is the other person's not gonna trust me anymore because it's like, okay, since I know you're not my friend, you're this person's friend. And sometimes when you draw those lines, when them and the other person become back cool, then you end up looking stupid, or you end up mad at that person when you shouldn't be mad at them just because they chose to take their friend.
So what if
back.
they don't become back friends?
Well, it depends. You have to kind of have to gauge the history of the fallout.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in the situation I was in, looking at it because I met that person through the other person, I felt back, but in my head I couldn't just like be rude to this girl, go out of my way to make her an enemy because I was like, they're gonna be friends again, and they ended up back friends again. So in the sense, I was like, I'm glad I didn't go out of my way to ice this girl out because y'all are back friends.
I mean, I wouldn't ice the person out per se, but it's like, even you can kind of tell who the person is. Like, if you get to talking shit about the person who introduced me to you, what is wrong with
yeah.
you? Have you lost your
Yeah.
But
rabbit
not
ass
only
mind?
that, I feel like friends need to allow for other friends to be like Switzerland sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
people put people in positions to like pick sides, and
Yeah,
sometimes it's not
and
fair.
that-
'cause
it's not
I've never
fair.
heard that.
yeah, like just
Switzerland's
neutral.
Switzerland.
No, I
listen,
know,
y'all,
but that's what I'm saying.
Switzerland has
I've
been
never
neutral
heard anybody use that.
up
Yeah.
until this Russian Ukraine stuff. But we'll get into that
we'll
later
get into that
because
later.
they really.
But
Shout out
yeah,
to
I think that
Switzerland.
people just need to allow people to be like on neutral ground.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, whenever I see like these fallouts between friends, a lot of times both parties are wrong.
Yeah.
But
It's not just one side, you know. And I disagree with a lot of things on both sides, so I try to stay neutral because I'm like, really, neither one of y'all were right. Unless it was like so fucked up that I clearly see like one party was, you know, in the wrong, then that's different. But sometimes it's okay to just like be in the middle, to continue to be friends with both people. Because like Michelle said, more than likely, like 10 years can pass and people could still end up being friends again, you know?
Right.
And it's you who looks crazy by picking sides.
Yeah.
I think it's weird. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to side with Jori on it. Well, it kind of depends, but like I just think it's weird. Like going to dinners together. I think just going like doing all that extra stuff, kind of just like, dang, you supposed to be my friend. Which again, I'm not even a whole like pick sides kind of thing, but it's like you're supposed to be like a real close friend with me, and then now it's like almost like kikiing with the op now. So it's just like I'm not. You could be neutral, but it's like I think doing the extra, the dinners, the sleepovers, all the extra stuff is just like damn. Like,
But I also definitely
it's
think
a little side eye to me.
I agree. I also think it depends on the person, because sometimes people try to get close to the other person ingenuinely to make the other person mad. And it's like, no, like they go out of their way to force it. And it's just like, bro, like we can casually be friends, but you going out your way to make it seem to the other friend like, oh, we're just so buddy. It's like that's not genuine. Like you're doing it on purpose, and you need to seek help. But I digress.
So y'all the gatekeeper friends. Y'all would pour drink on your friend?
No,
I never say any of that.
Absolutely not.
I don't care if friends mix. I don't care about that. Like,
at all.
it doesn't bother me at all.
Y'all sure?
No, that's not what I said.
Is that what y'all took from our conversation?
Chill.
Is that what y'all took from the
No,
conversation?
just relax.
Oh,
No, we're relaxed.
No.
I'm just saying, like,
Back it up. You got a wristband?
No, that's not what I mean. I hope that's not what y'all took from
No,
it.
not at all. It's
Okay.
just a jokey joke.
are you sure that's not what you
Because
think?
y'all laughing real
Y'all laughing real hard.
She's
I feel like the butt of the
laughing
joke.
real hard. Anyway, though, but
Okay, so we talked about Switzerland, and
what's going on with Switzerland?
Switzerland is neutral. The reason why a lot of people bank or put their money into Swiss banks is because no matter what happens, your money in the Swiss bank is solid. Swiss was not going to come out and extradite your money. They're not going to do any of that. Like, your money is safe with them. Like what's called like a safe neighbor. State Farm is there. That's Switzerland.
Like a good neighbor.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm. That was
Safe
terrible.
neighbor. I feel
What I said?
like a safe
No.
neighbor.
What?
Is State Farm there?
No, I saw what you were trying to do though.
Anyways.
Okay.
It's okay. It's
Wow.
okay.
So
Play it fuck up.
yeah, thank you.
Not that bad. I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
Please come first.
No,
Oh, your time
Yes,
is coming.
I'm ready.
Your time. Remember this moment.
Okay, Russia.
No facts. Okay. So speaking of, we all know that Russia and Ukraine is at odds for pretty much what United States does to the Native Americans. So Russia is trying to
Oh my God, steal their land back.
Yeah.
Or back, quote unquote.
Russia
is trying to claim a piece of property in Ukraine that claims to be
Ukraine
theirs.
claims to be.
Y'all, let's
Ukraine.
not do
But
that.
claim.
because-
I mean,
was
was
that
that
not
their?
what-
No,
no, wait.
let's
Is
not
that
do that
their
because
land though?
that land was actually a part of Russia.
Okay.
That land was
Okay.
given away by us to the Ukrainians. So that land was actually a part of Russia. So let's not do that.
What do you mean? Let's not actually.
How long ago was
Let's
that?
not do this. Actually,
Educate me, because
no,
I'm confused now.
Let's not do that. The U.S. did not give that land
The
to
Europeans,
Ukraine.
yeah. The Europeans did. Yes, they did.
No, they were their own little thing. That was okay. Actually, we're gonna do this next time.
This is not a
But-
political
yeah,
podcast.
yeah, no, yeah,
This
yeah.
is not a political podcast.
Yeah, we're not, because that's not what the debate is about. But anyways, so yeah, Ukraine and Russia are at odds, and they're in a whole war right now. So a lot of people are siding with Ukraine for good reason. We're the reason they're at war. So a lot of people are renaming Russian vodkas, and they've stopped all airing of Russia cinematic movies and all these other
liquor
things.
and stuff.
Yeah,
We're not selling Russian liquor anymore here.
yeah, they're doing a lot. But Swiss came out and said they're gonna freeze all the banks, all the Russian.
Swiss, girls.
The Swiss,
Switzerland.
the Swiss came out and said that they're gonna freeze all the banks, which is their first time that they have stepped out on their neutral grounds to really take a side. And they said, what did they say? Staying neutral in times of pressure is to side with the aggressor. So that's why they decided to finally break their
Ties with
neutral.
Russia.
They're siding with
neutral-
Russia.
They're
No,
not siding with
breaking
Russia.
they're breaking their neutralization. So now they're
Yeah.
siding kind of against Russia.
Yeah. The thing is, Russia could have went about this completely different.
They could have. That's the problem.
That's really what the
That's
issue
the problem.
is.
Because
It's
it wasn't even okay, we're gonna have a mutual conversation to come and take this. We're just gonna take it.
Yeah.
And
Like,
if y'all step, we're gonna step harder.
Y'all just
That's
trying
really
to,
what it was.
Like, y'all just trying to bully your way in.
Yeah,
And
Isn't that what we do sometimes too, U.S.?
it doesn't make
That
it
is what
right.
we've done.
I know.
Yeah.
That is
So
what
I'm
we do.
like,
No, that is what we do, but that doesn't,
someone do what we do.
but it
Yeah,
doesn't make it
literally.
right at
doesn't.
all. You know.
It doesn't. But I just need everyone to keep that same energy when it's just not white lives on the line. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
You know, black and brown people matter
yeah. They're
too.
they're doing
But
doing
story for another day.
Africans horribly.
That's what
Story for
literally.
another day.
Ukraine,
AKA
from what I
Syria.
read.
And I keep seeing on like social media where it's like, bro, like be like cautious before you start saying like pray for this. 'Cause it's just like, bro, like
Mhm.
it doesn't matter what is going on in the United States. They're still gonna find a way to put black people at the back of shit.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
like, bro, like
Yep.
that is wild. Man, even with the whole when they're trying to cross into the Russian,
Yeah.
The the Polish
Poland borders,
border.
and how they're making all the black people go to the back of the bus and all those other things.
or walk.
Not
They're
even
telling
get on the
that-
bus.
No, not even get on the trains. They're telling black people to walk to the.
That's actually
like,
crazy.
They're trying to get people onto trains, and they're pushing like African Americans, anyone that of darker complexion, to the back, telling them that they can't get on first because
Ukrainians
they're not
first.
not Ukrainian,
Yeah,
and telling them to walk. But you know, I
That's
digress.
crazy. yeah, crazy.
That's
times.
horrible.
Crazy times, honestly. But the only thing, someone did a piece about this, and they said the only thing that they think that becomes scary in the situation is they hope it doesn't. The same thing that didn't happen like during the Afghanistan period, where a lot of people or a lot of brown people were unfairly targeted and dehumanized and villainized because of things like this. And so the whole idea of the erasure of like any kind of Russian culture from society due to this does have effects. And I was like, that is true. Because think about somebody who is Russian and they have nothing to do with that, and they're here and they're seeing the erasure of that culture in the United States. They don't have access to any of these things. So unfortunately, I mean,
it's the same
is
thing
a
with
war.
the Afghanistan war, like the
Sure.
Iraq war. Like, let's look at it. Everyone that was wearing hijab now or wearing are of like quote unquote Muslim descent, which I don't know how you even can be of Muslim descent, but they were all targeted.
But it was somebody who was from Afghanistan who made that, who wrote that article, because he said that during that time it was hard for him. Like,
Yeah, they were
but-
persecuted.
yeah, and he was of mixed race, so he was half Afghanistan and half, I'll say, some European nation. And at that time he knew to claim the other side of him because he had the privilege to, but he said not everyone has that privilege. And I think he was in the 7th grade and somebody asked him, "Oh, where you from?" And he said Afghanistan, and the teacher looked at him like stunned for like 10 seconds, didn't even know what to
Really?
say. Yeah, and so he said so he learned from a very young age to kind of hide that part of his culture because he was met with that reaction. But not everyone has that.
So do y'all agree with like
Privilege.
them stopping like selling like Russian products? And
I think it's
things like-
performative as fuck. I don't know what it's gonna do. I mean, I understand the whole Switzerland freezing banks. I understand all that of like saying, okay, well, we're not gonna do this and we're not gonna let y'all like certain things
still
at a government level make sense, but changing a white Russian to a white Ukrainian, the drink at bars, what's that gonna
That's
do?
stupid.
No, I do think it's performative, but at the same time, I do feel like only reason I feel like it's performative because there's not much that you can pull out without actually pulling out more than what we need. You know what I mean? Like you can't really stop all European ties. Let's be real, you can't. So I think like they're just doing this to kind of like appease them, or not appease them, to just appease other nations, to just be like, okay, look, this is the side
This
that
is
we're
our
not
part we're doing.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like at the end of the day, y'all not gonna stop all trades. All
Yeah.
it's
Saying we're not gonna
man.
show
This is-
Russian movies. I'm like, even they
Yeah,
said they didn't
that's-
renew Anastasia on Disney Plus. Okay, a lot of people say the license
Really?
expired, but to me, I'm like, okay, y'all, this ain't a little bit.
Really?
I mean,
Damn.
yeah, or Anastasia.
Yeah.
Sorry,
to the
but
kids now? Damn.
now again, the license might have just expired, and that might be it. But you know,
But the thing, okay, here's my
Right.
question: when are these gas prices going to change?
Oh my! I feel like I'm in
So let me
California.
So let me tell y'all what happened. You don't know. You don't want to be in California.
Fuck.
So let me tell y'all what happened. So I had to fill up yesterday. I was rushing late to a nail appointment. I pull up, I'm pumping my gas. I'm like, okay, it's about to stop. Like I have 15 gallons in my car. It's about to stop. So I get out. I'm standing there. And I'm like, damn, I just hit $60. I'm like, what the fuck? All of a sudden, the clip to the gas tank got stuck. Gas was gushing every fucking where.
What?
I said, gas
On
is
your
too-
dime.
On my dime.
Hell no.
Came out
How
spending.
much is gas?
Like
For me, I use 93, which is the highest you can
Oh,
get,
that
and it was
was-
$4.20.
Okay,
I
how
was
much is
rolling
So
extra.
how much
I
is
just
regular gas?
So I just filled up yesterday, and I paid $4.09 for 93.
409. 409.
$4.09. But
Oh,
the thing is,
$4.09.
well, because I went to one gas station, it was $4.22, and I was like, I was shell shocked. I was like, this
Yeah.
this can't be right, because you know how sometimes
This
more
can't
gas
be.
stations more gas stations are more expensive than others. So I was like, you know what?
And it depends on the area.
I was like, yeah, you know what? This ain't the right area. Let me drive a little bit. And literally, I had no miles.
I'm gonna keep it above with y'all. I be putting $10 in my tank now because I can't watch that.
$10 for me is 2
I can't
gallons.
watch that.
Where am I going?
I mean, listen, I get to halfway. So
That's not me.
almost halfway.
I was in.
I can't, them prices are stupid.
I was at a gas. I was in Grapevine. I was like, shit. Let me pull over at a Shell. You know,
a Shell's
I
gonna
love
do.
It was like $4.20 something. I was like, nah.
$4.20.
So I was like,
rewards.
girl, I put $15 in there. I was like, let me just put 15. I'm gonna wait till I get to my side of town. I'm an Exxon girl. I only prefer to use Exxon, but I was about to be walking, so I was like, fuck it. So I put 15 in. Only lasted a day. The next day, I go to Exxon. I'm like, it's still $4.20. I'm back in another side of town that I think I was in Oak Cliff. So I'm thinking gas gonna be cheap. No, that shit was still $4.20.
I think they putting water in the gas because gas ain't gassing like it used to.
Right.
No, it's not. It's not.
Like,
it's not.
the only
my
reason
gas don't
why-
last me a week. If a full tank don't last me a week, why?
See, I'm not gonna lie. Like
Coming from a girl who
I
be
work from
gallivanting.
home, so I don't really put gas in my tank. So it's okay. But like if like back to when I used to like drive all the time, like these prices would be a no. I would probably have to.
No,
put
I
my-
have to make
know.
I have to make a trip tomorrow, and I'm like contemplating like,
Yeah,
do I need to
was like-
go?
I'm trying to think if I should go. I'm like, bro,
The fact I put 20 in my tank and I was like,
fly.
well, where did I think I was going with 20 in my tank?
Nowhere to your house.
No.
So what's normally average for here?
I mean,
Normally when I would fill up,
Yeah,
I think I would pay like
$25.
40. So the fact that I'm pushing $70,
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
That's a
pushing-
problem
I'm
because
pushing,
I
like,
used to-
if it
45.
goes up anymore,
What's the
I'm
price?
gonna be dropping
per
100.
gallon though?
It was
Girl,
like
I don't know. They've been on the rise for
I
so
used
long.
to pay
I don't
like
know if there is a
I used to
normal.
pay like $2.80, and then
Oh,
they
I
like kept
see.
blowing up.
Oh yeah.
And
I think average for me has always been like 3 something.
3 something.
But to be for me,
not for,
93,
For 93,
it's
yeah, it's
always
always been in the
3.
three.
It's always been 3.
It's always been the
I've
3.
never
has
paid.
it always been
I've never paid $2 for 93.
That's
It's always been in the
At the
3.
beginning of the pandemic, it was twos.
No, gas is cheaper in
Yeah.
Houston.
Very beginning.
I
of
was
the
definitely
pandemic.
paying
Maybe
it.
at the
Isn't that because they have like the whole oil?
No,
Oh, okay.
just period. Because when I went to Houston in
Why is that?
last month, I don't know when I went to Houston. It was either January, February. I got gas for like $2.79.
I was definitely paying in the
That's
twos.
regular. That used to be average.
I was paying twos
Yeah,
for 93,
but-
like high twos,
It
but
ain't
in
be
the
too-
twos.
Yeah,
I always paid $3. So the fact that we're at 4 to me, it's kind of like
Yeah.
if it gets any higher,
I'm gonna have to walk.
Girl,
I might have to pick and choose the moves that I
No.
make.
I'm gonna get a
I'm gonna just be
scooter.
honest.
Or
But
Uber.
at this point, it's cheaper to Uber. Real
Yeah,
talk,
it
it's
is
actually cheaper to Uber at this
Is it
point.
cheaper?
Them prices are going up too,
Them
girl. They
prices-
putting gas in their car.
Y'all know how much I
Girl.
pay to get from
You
the
just
airport
need to get a
my
moped.
apartment to the airport? No, absolutely not.
Oh,
Not
girl.
even.
Moped.
Girl, I pay
Take the-
$80 for
utilize
that
the
Uber
busing
from
services.
the airport to your house. $80 for that Uber.
That was
See, that's what I'm
$80?
saying, and that's how
$80.
much I pay too. And
Public
twice,
transportation's
3
here,
times.
y'all.
Yeah, like
It's affordable.
yeah, that's
No.
dubs.
Listen, I mean, there's nothing wrong with. Are you too good to get on
No,
Are
I'm
you-
not. I've
No.
never done. So
I just don't because like I don't live by a stop.
Neither do I.
No, I'm not gonna lie, because like sometimes
Where?
Actually, the
Our
Dallas
bus stops?
Yeah,
Where- like,
they're all
where?
in Dallas. They're all throughout Dallas.
On where I live,
You
is
gotta
not
walk,
the
girl.
address,
You
but
gotta walk.
It's
I
not
don't
that-
see it.
it's not that
Walk
I'm
to
We're
right
not
above
used
it.
to walking.
No.
That's why you don't see it.
It's not that even that I'm above
Anyway.
it, but like sometimes my mom be like, "Oh, I have to fly out of Love Field. I'm gonna take the train." I'm like, "I'll just get you, like, girl. I'll just come get you and
No, I
take you."
love-
Our parents are
Actually,
so old
I like
school.
taking the train.
There's nothing wrong with taking the train, but I'm just like, she has to take the train, then she would hop on the bus to get to Love Field. I'm like, I'll just come pick you. As it is today, I had to take her
But you
to
know,
DFW.
some people-
I'm
but
like, girl, you could have called an
It's crazy
Uber.
because like
Guess who? How to be picking me
some
up, taking you to the
people-
airport?
but some people
She said
kinda-
go to DFW too. Yeah, she
it's crazy. Like some
Yeah, she
people,
used to.
no,
I had
but-
to pass DFW to pick her up.
But like I used to think it was cool that Nikki's mom would drive to the train station, ride the train station downtown, and take the train back and go home. Like some people just like to do
No,
that.
there's nothing,
Like, it's
there's nothing
easy.
wrong with that. But you know, sometimes
We're
I just
just-
feel like
yeah, we're
I just
different.
got you
I feel you.
because I wouldn't want to do it. So
I'm
I'd
just
be
not
like,
used to it. I didn't grow up
not
on
with
train on
luggage.
a train system, so it's like for me to start now, it's kind of just like a foreign. Like when I'm already used to
I'm
driving.
not gonna lie.
Right.
I used to take the bus weekends from San Antonio to Dallas. 50-cent rides,
$1.
mega bus. What's up?
Period.
Okay,
50-cent
it's not
rides?
like
Megabus was really a
Yeah,
dollar
it
at one
was.
point, and
Like,
they got our business.
they got
really
our
for like a
business.
good 2 years straight, y'all.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
I literally would do turnaround trips to get my hair done because the ride was 50 cents.
I remember one time me and Paulette, I don't know what we did. Like we got on that bus, we woke up in Dallas, and I was so confused. Like, how did we get here? Like,
Y'all know I don't remember. I remember the first time I got on a bus was on Greyhound, and I remember my dad dropped me off, and like literally I was like playing tough, like okay, I'm cool. He was like, do this, do that, like don't keep your stuff to you, sit down somewhere, don't move from this point until they call your bus. So I was like, okay, cool. So I get on the bus and like, I don't know, y'all. I start hyperventilating and I call my friend because I like freaking out because I'm like, I'm really about to ride this bus to San Antonio. I've never done this, so. one girl, she came up. She's like, "Hey, girl, I noticed. Are you okay?" She's like, "I saw you talking to your friend. You're crying. Are you good? Like this and that." She's like, "It's okay. Like it's just like there's nothing's gonna happen out here." Like she's like, "Look at this bus. Like it's the nice one. Like just watch you something. Just calm down, y'all." She gave me a Rice Krispie treat like this big.
Now you showing
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, I ate that hoe up. Passed out, woke up in San Antonio. They stopped in Austin, didn't even wake up for that stop. Woke up in San Antonio to the driver waking me up.
So you did everything your father told you not to do.
Y'all, like my nerves were bad. Like
Didn't you still
You took candy
Huh?
from a stranger.
Didn't y'all steal drugs from somebody one time?
she did. I mean,
Yeah, it's 11:11. Wait, what?
Who's she? Nikki?
Whoa.
Continue with that.
Whoa. Y'all are not
We do a lot
about
of
to
weird things on the
incriminate
bus.
me
We
on this
do a lot of weird
podcast.
things on the bus.
I'm like, I ain't never
But
stole
yeah, to
drugs
answer your
from
question,
nobody.
I did take edibles from a stranger, and I'll never do that again. But it was an experience.
Yes, you will.
It's like,
It's okay. Once you do it, you can do it again.
okay.
You know,
So before we move on, I did kind of want to talk about another Women in Colors in podcast, another group in colors in podcasting.
Are they of color?
Yeah.
That's why I was,
They
that's why I was
act like they're not.
hesitating to
Of
say
tan.
it.
they are. They're
Um,
white passing.
Women's
So-
of colorism?
Just kidding.
Giselle and Robin from the Reasonably Shady podcast. If y'all don't know Giselle and Robin, we
From
know
Potomac.
Giselle and Robin from the Real Housewives of Potomac.
Potomac.
So we know their history of how they interact with other women, especially women of color.
Of darker
Darker color, and then
complexions.
just how they interact in general. Honestly, they're just mean girls. But yeah, so they have a podcast, and actually their podcast is doing pretty well. But that's neither here or there. On their podcast,
It
they were
actually is. Yeah, and I mean, I listen to it from time to time. It's good.
I'm sure. But on the podcast, they talked about James Harden. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
I know because
didn't
I
understand
know
it.
he was again, but that could
Someone will correct
Anyways.
us in the comments. Why?
because I know
Keep
he
going.
he had a. But that wasn't his first game. Maybe okay. Anyways, this is also not a sports podcast. So, yeah. So they're talking about James Harden. You know, if you know, James Harden has a long beard, and they were just saying different things about like how they feel like his beard looks dirty. He needs to cut it off. They feel like it smells like weed. There's probably chicken grease in it. And like watermelon, they were just making jokes about it, and like at one point it was just jokes, like it was like ha 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 ha. But then when
But
they
it
kept they were
was
dragging
repetitive.
it, and they kept dragging it, and even to the point where like they were like, oh, we sound racist, like, but they still kept going like, okay, he still needs to cut it off. But I just don't understand because like I don't know, I feel like as a culture we always like comment on like how black women are just not how black men shouldn't comment on women's like. You know, appearance and their business, and it's just like for you to kind of emasculate a man because of his beard when
And
they know like
it's
beards
weird.
are
Like,
big deal
beards
to
are
men,
Sexy. Like,
to
I've
black
never
men.
thought someone's beard
So it's just
stank.
like to just say that it looks dirty when it's like
Yeah.
it looks tame to me. I don't understand like why it's not
for it
like
to be so full, like it's puffed and combed out very well, like it's moisturized.
That's something that you should have pride in as a man. So it's like for them to kind of like again, in my opinion, emasculate him because of that and just make it look like he's just a dirty person. It's just like for me, it was like so a lot of people have been saying that like. Because James Harden is a dark-skinned man or dark-skinned male, that like it kind of brings out their colorism because they have been accused
if you-
of colorism on the show,
Watch the show.
of,
they're very
of being
colorist.
of being like colorist towards women of darker skin colors. But
Candace.
but yeah, I don't know. Like, well, how do y'all feel?
Wendy.
Because
Um,
and Wendy even commented.
What did
talking
Wendy
about-
say?
did.
She
She's
said
like
the
yikes,
eyes.
or
She
she
said
said
the
eyes,
eyes.
or something like
Eyes.
that.
for me,
Definitely gonna be on the show. This looks
Yeah,
like
I
a
mean,
plant for the show.
I did.
does.
I listened to the clip, and I saw the comments before I listened to the clip, so I was expecting a little bit something a little bit more. I think aggressive. Not saying that their comments weren't out of pocket because they were, but I think a lot of it was taken out of context. Like when I saw that they said that his beard smelled like chicken and watermelon. When I actually listened to the clip, I think she said it smelled like fried chicken. And I think Robin was more trolling Giselle than she was making her own comments. Like Robin was just like, really, you gonna say that? You might as well just say
Yeah,
watermelon.
It was really
And she was
Giselle,
like,
honestly.
yeah, she was like, I mean, I think Robin was trying to let her know, like, what you're saying sounds offensive. Even when she was
Yeah.
like weed, she goes, I don't even know if the man smokes weed. I don't know why I'm saying weed. I think as they were talking, they realized how offensive it was. I think they were trying to be funny and they just missed the mark.
Yeah.
That should have been
So-
an edit.
It
honestly.
Yeah, it should have been edited. I feel like the
out.
fact that it got left in
It's
was
unfortunate.
It was a little sloppy on
that-
their
But
end.
the
It's
thing
unfortunate
is-
if you're saying Giselle like was leading that conversation. It's unfortunate once again, Robin, you're always a casualty to
Yeah.
Giselle's
But here's the
Yeah.
thing: it'd be different if it was just like a one-time thing. But when you actually listen to the clip, Giselle brought up watermelon at least like 3-4 times. she's like, watermelon. And then the conversation kept going. She's like, yeah, watermelon. And I'm just like, okay, so what point are you trying to actually...
Giselle tries to make fetch happen.
What point are you trying to get across? And then it continued on to like the weed, the chicken grease, things like that. It's like, I don't understand. How else would that comment have been taken? Like, was it supposed to be a positive?
The whole weed smell. Like,
was it supposed to be a positive comment?
Just trying to relate to
I guess I don't understand what other way could it be taken?
They just don't like beards. Good for y'all.
I just feel like they were just trying to be relatable to another crowd, and it's like that should have been edited.
They just missed the mark. It reminds me of when. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When what's her name? God rest her soul. She used to do Fashion Police.
Joan Rivers.
Her daughter. I think it was her daughter who made that comment about Zendaya, about how when she had the faux locks in, she said that she felt like it smelled like patchouli oil and weed or marijuana.
Jesus.
It was very comparable to that moment, and so knowing that happened, and after that she got canceled like heavily. Like, I think she was removed from the segment for like maybe a couple years. Like, she didn't do the red carpet that year. So knowing that happened, and for y'all to go ahead and air that was just because you're Black does not give you a pass. It's still harmful to the Black community for you to put that whole narrative out there that Black people, if they don't look how, it's like respectability politics. If you're not clean shaven, this and that, then you probably smoke weed, because we don't know if he smokes weed. He's in the NBA. He's not even allowed to smoke weed. Technically, So it just was. It
was in poor taste.
It was very poor taste.
And apology will soon follow. Trust us.
It should have been followed. Honestly, it's been a couple of days and they've been quiet as a mouse.
They have been. They're hoping this will move. Like, just be swept.
But it just does not help their case at all. Like, because on the show, they clearly have moments where they're very questionable.
Yeah, and
now this just kind of adds to it even more. I don't understand what kind of perspective they want to give to like the world.
I think it's just establishing a pattern that's already
we already know it's there.
Which is just ignorance.
Now the world is just hip,
right?
About to become hip to it. So
that's true.
It is what it is.
Do y'all feel like they're full blown colorists though?
Yes, I do
for sure.
Yes.
I don't know if it's their fault though, but let me not say that.
I would say Giselle more than Robin, and Robin just kind of plays suit. But Giselle
Robin's
definitely
a follower, so it's okay.
Giselle definitely.
And it's sad because I really like Robin. I really enjoyed Robin on Potomac. However, when she fell in Giselle's shadow, it was just like, damn,
I think that Giselle was able to get to a lot of the point where she's at based on the way that she looks. Her light eyes, her light skin, her light hair.
But that don't mean shit.
But I think that I think she has played into that, and I think that she's kind of run with that.
I think it works to her in advantage per se, but it's just like at the end of the day, like there's a reason why she's single, doesn't have a man, like all that exterior shit that gives her those advantages. Like at the end of the day, she still doesn't have true, genuine love. So it's like that's the issue. And
now you sound like Karen on here.
I'm just saying though, it's just like I feel like it has worked to her advantage, but at the end of the day, it's just like she actually needs to.
Has it worked to her advantage?
Yeah.
What you're saying?
Yeah, it has worked to her advantage.
No, you're saying has.
But it's unfortunate. She has to continue this because if she doesn't, she will be chopped off that show. She will lose a lot. Like
they should have.
No, she won't. Bravo don't care about. Bravo does not care about color. Bravo does not care about colorism. They don't. They do not care about Black lives. They don't care.
Keeping up this narrative. If she wants to come around, but I'm a changed person. This and that. I've seen what I've done, and now I'm working on. Like
colorism,
she can't do that.
They don't care about. But when it comes to somebody making a racist comment, they gonna get rid of them.
But Ramona's still on the show.
Oh my God.
Ramona is peak
I'm on season 12 and I'm just like Ramona.
She brought them to a Trump charity supporters house to film and no one said anything until afterwards. I'm like,
and every single time they have like people to help them around the house, she always what she call them?
The help
or servants.
Like, and it's so crazy to me. Like they go on vacation and she be like, unpack my bag.
Yeah.
Hang this up.
I'm not leaving this here because I don't want this. I'm like, dang, you think they're going to steal from you on TV?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Bravo does not care about Black lives. They care about backlash. So if the backlash, the backlash is loud enough, which I don't think it will be, no shade.
It won't be for this.
No,
they won't.
They're not going nowhere because they're Black. That's why. They're white. They would.
Yeah, it's going to be an episode on Real Housewives of
Yeah,
Potomac.
it is. It's going to end like
for sure.
It's going to be a huge like 3 episode.
And Wendy's
I want to say this.
Wendy, you better go in.
I want to say this one thing, and then I'm going to change it into the topic.
Wendy and Candace need to get a podcast.
Did y'all see how Monique is going to be on Love and
Marriage,
Potomac or whatever, or DC, whatever it is?
No.
I actually am a person who I actually do watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, and it's good as fuck.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
Huntsville, like Texas?
No,
Alabama.
Wherever
Yeah.
Huntsville is.
Huntsville,
I think
Alabama.
it's a Huntsville.
There's
in
one,
every
the
fucking,
Huntsville, Alabama.
country
Alabama,
side
yeah,
of
it's Alabama.
Alabama.
It's very good. If you haven't watched it, tune in. Yes, I'm plugging it. But anyways, Monique and her husband supposed to be joining Love and Marriage. I don't know what
And I
the
actually
city
like
is,
them,
but,
so I may watch it.
no, yeah,
I just
it's
have
good.
so many shows to watch.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into the topic today, which is gonna be love bombing. And just really quickly before I continue, do y'all all know what it is, or should I give like a quick description?
Just in case they don't know.
Okay, so pretty much love bombing can be considered a manipulative tactic used to control you by bombing you with overt affection, gifts, and compliments early on in the dating stage to rush the relationship. The ultimate goal is to make you feel obligated to the love bomber and for the love bomber to be in control. It's a major red flag, so if you experience it, run. So I guess to add on to that, like love bombing would be like you meet somebody and like they're giving you all this attention, all this affection, all these compliments or whatever, and like pretty much trying to rush gifts, anything. They're trying to rush the experience. It's like, bro, like actually pump the brakes. Like, why do you feel this way about me so fast? Like, why are you showing me this attention this fast? Like, we just met each other. Like, it's actually a lot.
Been love bombed all my dating life.
I didn't even say on my dating life.
I'm just
but,
saying,
like,
sometimes
My question is
when does
that
it become a bad thing?
yeah, that's my question. It's like, are we getting so accustomed to being treated like shit that whenever
No.
someone might
No.
because that's the thing, we have to make a clear definition
Yeah.
between the difference.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
that's what. So in the definition, I don't know if she read the word manipulative, but that's what it is.
It's like
Love bombing is manipulative
it's a
because
part of
again,
it.
if let's say you meet a guy and he's giving you like money all the time, he's buying you gifts all the time, and then all of a sudden like you don't hang out with him one night and he's just
it's
like
cold turkey.
yeah, no, not even it's cold turkey, but you don't hang out. Like let's say you go out with your girls on the weekend or whatever, and he's just like he's kind of pressing you like, when are you coming, or are you gonna come home? Like just trying to like just be controlling over this. That's what it is.
It's
So I'm
crazy
like,
because I talked about love bombing yesterday, and like someone told me like it's like in the beginning what you said, but then like the moment like you stop like meeting their needs, they just start icing you out and like they're not giving you gifts, they're not giving you affirmation, stuff like that. Like it's on and off switch.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like to me, love bombing is more like in the beginning, somebody bombs you with so much affection that they build for you like your ideal guy.
Yeah.
And so when things are low, you rely so much on that
Yeah.
to keep you going through the low moments when in their head, you think it's just, oh, this isn't who he is. That's who he is, when in actuality, this is who he is.
Yeah.
He just used it as a facade to string you along during the bad times. And the times they're love bombing are usually short periods, whereas the bad times be like the longer periods, you know?
So I guess in regards to that, like, do y'all feel like most people who love bomb are like low key narcissists?
yes.
Yeah.
And the reason
in a
why
way.
the reason why I said that is because they try to say like the love language of a narcissist is someone who love bombs you, because they're gonna say like at first they poured on very thick with compliments, gifts, and dates, anything that'll make you feel totally adored. But then in the moment, like you let your guard down, like they turn on you, and it's just like, whoa, like where you went from being this super loving individual, like showing me how you felt about me, to now all of a sudden like you're treating me like shit, and it's confusing because it's like at that point you've like opened up yourself to be like vulnerable to somebody, and it's just like, why are you acting different?
It's what monsters do.
I think that we love to put definitions and like words to everything, you know?
we have to.
So-
You have to call it what it is. How it is.
But they might not necessarily be a narcissist. I think you have to look at where they got this practice from, you know? Who's to say that they didn't grow up like that? Who's to say that, you know, maybe their dad would
That
give
doesn't
them...
make you less of a narcissist.
it's
If
just
you
a
didn't grow up
narcissist in
with
the
it.
making when you're younger.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, because I feel like people are so quick to throw narcissists at everything.
I do agree. I feel like I think we are overusing narcissism a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, narcissism now has went
That
from
was
like a
the question.
personality disorder.
I know this is a question, but I'm saying like,
Mm-hmm.
why do we have to, like, just because someone is manipulative, we automatically say, oh, you're a narcissist. But that's not necessarily the case. Like,
So
But like
they
if
could
you
just be
really like
abusive.
research what a narcissist is, and like you see like the characteristics and someone like, I mean,
so do you
You're
think do you think that any of the actions in your past someone can call you a narcissist? And would you want them to call you that?
I mean,
No,
For
but I
me,
feel like
no.
I
I
can
don't
call
think
other people.
Yeah.
narcissists,
I don't think I've ever
100%.
I'm being honest, I don't think I've ever been a narcissist. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like if someone was to call me that, of course I'd be offended, because it's like that. If you really look in the textbook, I'm not a narcissist.
So
But I have dealt with people that are
No,
narcissists.
I don't
They
disagree.
may not
There
go
are
like it,
people
you
that
know.
are narcissists. I don't disagree
So
with you in
being
that sense.
self-centered and being a narcissist is two different things, and being selfish and being a narcissist is two different things. So being selfish, everybody has like self-awareness. Everybody has like selfishness in them. So it's different to say say like, oh yeah, I've been selfish in a relationship versus like I've been a complete narcissist where all I do is think about myself excessively and nothing matters except how I feel in this
That's
moment.
just lacking self-awareness. I don't think you're a narcissist.
No, excessive, that's a narcissist. That's that by definition, that's what narcissist means.
But a narcissist actually is a personality disorder that requires a medical diagnosis.
Exactly.
But I do feel like the only reason I agree with Nikki, because I do feel like we've got to the point where it's kind of like when people say, oh, I have anxiety because I get nervous before a test. It's like, I mean, I understand that, you know, you read about it and you think that you have it, but there are a lot more steps in just diagnosing people based off of, oh, when we're in a relationship, I felt like he was very self-absorbed. He could have been cheating on you. You don't really know. He probably just thinking, I'm not saying you personally, but I'm like, there's a lot more that goes into just labeling someone a narcissist. Like, to me, when I see someone who's a narcissist, I think it's like,
it's self-destructive. It's like destructive.
Yeah.
So so then if they're not, they're not a narcissist, then what do you think makes men? I'm only talking about men, not women, because I feel from our experience as men, what do you think makes them love bomb then?
I think they're toxic. I think they could be emotionally abusive, but I don't think love bombing is tied to narcissism. I think it can be. I think narcissists may have the ability to think it out and have like that strategy.
Because people that are not narcissists love bomb as well. There may have been times where we've all love bomb before. You know what I mean?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
Not to a man, but in experiences and thinking about it, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like a lot of men who like love bomb are people who have not healed from their past, and so they're trying to chase this feeling that they had with their past relationship, and they're trying to rush the progress of getting to know somebody and actually date them, is because they're trying to get back to what they're accustomed to. And so you actually have to kind of be red flags about like, what are we rushing for? I feel like anything that's worth having, what are we rushing it for? If it's gonna be here, if it's so true to be, why are we?
But there's a difference between rushing and like.
But that's what I was gonna ask. What is
your time?
What do y'all consider rushing in a relationship? Because I think that also depends on where you're, like, what stage you're at in your life. You know, I feel like when when we first started this podcast, which was, you know, like 5 years ago at this point, rushing to us may have been like, oh my gosh, like, you're trying to marry me in a year. But I don't know if I could say the same that's rushing now at the point in my life. You know, like, I can see why people could get married in a year. So it just depends on like what your definition of rushing is at this point.
I just keep thinking, I don't know why I don't know. I still stand by, I think all love bombers are narcissists, but that's also, I mean, I'm speaking to my experience. So there's a clear difference between being selfish, being self-centered, and being a narcissist and having a narcissist personality disorder. And with that disorder, it comes like abuse of power also. And those are the things that a love bomber does. They aligns with the same definition of a narcissist. So if you ask me, I'm gonna.
So have you been with multiple love bombers?
Multiple? No.
Okay, so has anyone here ever experienced love bombing?
I have, yeah.
I have, not gonna lie.
Yes, I have.
Does anybody want to describe like what that felt like?
It just felt like a lot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I felt good at one point, but then like somewhere along the way, it's just kind of like, okay, like, is this real, or are you just doing this because like you want to like shape my mind around you and like me? You want me to be down with only you, and it's like, are you really doing this because like you're really into me, or are you just doing this because you want me to like ride for you? You know what I mean? And the moment I ride for you, that's when like the switch is off.
And it's a very sucky feeling because I feel like I've been through this recently, and it's just like now that I'm out of it, like to look back on it, it's just like I realized that, you know, I was very hesitant. Like, I don't feel like right now I'm ready to be anybody's girlfriend. You know what I mean? But when someone is in front of you saying how much they like you, how much they want to be with you, I started becoming like open to that. Like, I might not be ready, but this person is showing me how much they fuck with me, how much they like me. Like, maybe I just need to take a leap of faith. But then I realized, like, what are we actually rushing it for? Like, you're trying to get me to feel all these emotions, and it's like, what are we rushing this progress for? And it's just like nothing even ended up came to fruition after it was all said and done. I'm just like, bro, like, you actually love the blood bomb the fuck out of me. Like, I actually was very much chilling, going with the flow, and like you put all these ideas and these things into me. It made me feel like you really fuck with me, just for in the end you didn't really fuck with me like that. And I was like, what was the reason? Like, why you didn't have to do all that you did? And it's like, bro, dudes have a habit of like over promising and giving all these affirmations, telling me how the fuck you this, that, and then it's just like, bro, like, you actually can bring it down a little bit. Like, I was gonna fuck with you even without that.
Just shut the fuck up. You could have sat there and ate your food.
Listen, when I'm about to say this right now, and this literally is dear and heart to my soul, I hate when people over promise and under deliver, because you could have just shut the fuck up. You could have just shut the fuck up. That's literally how I feel about everything. Like, you could have just shut up. Like, why? You didn't even have to do all that. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah. But that's my experience when it comes to love bombing.
I think
I agree.
The way you could tell us love bombing is in the beginning it feels good, but after a while it starts feeling inauthentic.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of feel it coming almost. Like in your head you're just like, okay, this is
This
gonna
makes
happen.
sense.
Almost
And
too
then
good
you're
to
gonna
be
slide
true.
into your
Mhm.
actual personality. And then when you start feeling that you're losing me a little bit, then you're gonna turn and switch up of like doing all the things that you think that I want you to do when in actuality it's like
Mhm.
now this doesn't mean anything to me because I know it's gonna be followed by headache, madness.
Exactly.
So
And they hate it when you figure them out at that
Oh,
point.
oh my God.
They try
I
to
think
twist it.
they-
It was
they
you, not
hate.
me. No, nigga, it was you.
I think for me, like the experience that I had, it was definitely like all like lovey-dovey, like gifts, trips, dinners, everything you could think of in the beginning. But it all led up to a point where he wanted to ask me like something like a favor, you know?
Mhm.
And
Gosh.
when I could not do that for him, like literally like everything changed. And that's whenever I was really able to see like who he truly was.
Mhm.
But for me, I was younger and I had already like been manipulated at this point. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I was in the wrong because, you know, he's done all this for me. I wasn't able to do
Yeah.
this for him. So I can see why he'd be upset, but I didn't realize like the way he treated me, it just wasn't okay. Like
Yeah.
it didn't matter what he did for me. It still wasn't okay.
Yeah.
like Simon Levy or Levy,
Yeah.
tell you he love you and all that other stuff and have you feeling like he got money and then he start asking you for shit.
No, literally, that's definitely what the
Okay, that was a love bombing situation.
Tinder swindler
Yeah,
situation
there was a
for
love
sure.
bombing.
Mhm.
Simon said, I finesse so if I fuck on my business.
Mhm.
No, that's crazy. So I guess other than gifts and compliments, like what other red flags is associated with like love bombing? So how do you feel when people need to be validated with words early on in the relationship?
I mean, see, is that love bombing though? If you feel like you need reassurance, because to me, I'm
No, it's not. I think the first question had me. The first question is a whole another question in itself, which was like you said, what other
What are other red flags are there?
Outside of gifts and
yeah,
whatever.
and I think it's obligation to your time, like
Mhm.
obligation to your time and your space and everything. It's like if they don't, and this is just my experience. If they don't feel like they can have you right then, right there, then it's like then you just kind of get treated like the bottom of
No,
their
that's
shoe type
facts.
shit. And
Yeah.
I don't. And to be clear, now that I'm thinking about it, like when everybody's sitting here talking about their experience with love bombing or whatever, maybe I don't know what y'all's experience was, but my personal experience, he was a narcissist 100%. So I could see how like that's why it's not kind of adding up to y'all, because like not every love bomber is a narcissist, but for me specifically it was. There's like no ifs ands or buts about it.
Yeah. See,
That's
for
very
me, and this is gonna sound so bad, y'all, because I feel like this disconnect. Because I have nothing against love bombing. I'm not gonna lie. Well, okay, not that I have anything against love bombing, because I feel like a part of me, and it's because I've been in a lot of toxic relationships. Maybe that's what it is. I kind of made it my love language. Like I really do like in the beginning. I would want you to come with the energy. I just don't want
But
you to
that is
stop.
the difference between honeymoon phase and love bombing.
No,
Also.
okay, so let me
That's facts. That's facts.
You know what I mean?
But-
So like when you say like have obligation to your time, that's a red flag. Nah, nigga, I want you to be like.
but that.
So
but
do you feel like
that's-
there's an advantage to love bombing?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the only bad part about love is when it's a bomb. You know what I mean? I
No,
think
that's
the only-
facts because
only-
in my situation, I loved it until I hated it.
Yeah, exactly.
I loved every bit about that shit until
until you
it.
But that's
started
how it
hitting
works.
it.
That's
It
what
was-
love
it
bombing
was
is. You
great
love it
until
until
it
you
wasn't
hate
great.
it. Like
No,
it's good until it's
That's
not.
what I'm saying. So when you say like red flags, I'm just being honest about my experience. Like, that's why I feel like I end up like falling for the people who do stuff like that.
Exactly.
And even if a guy, if you want my energy, I'm not gonna lie.
You got to come hard
to
the first.
You have to come with the
apply
energy.
pressure,
Just
yeah.
don't stop. So like
Yeah.
all that, if he feels like he has obligation to my time, like I'm not gonna lie, like if that's a red flag, I mean I want you to. I want you to blow me
so the
up,
difference
like, I
between
do.
that is like again, it doesn't turn
I agree.
all bad for you.
No, I'm not talking about like at the end. Like I was talking about her question when she said, "What are red flags to love bombing?" All those other stuff. To me, it's hard for me to see red flags. The red flags look green to me. I like Six Flags.
Well, like what I'm saying is sometimes people's love bombing experiences are not always negative. It sometimes turns out into a positive.
I mean,
It
and
just
even
depends.
the
But then I
second,
think that changes the definition of
Of-
love
it
bombing.
does.
Like, that you weren't being
Because
love
love bombing is a
So-
negative experience.
Yeah.
So that's why
But-
I'm like, we're
Does
not
it
talking
have
about
to be?
applying. We're
I think
okay.
y'all are missing my point.
No, we're
No,
not
we get
missing
what
your
you're
point.
saying,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the thing is, I don't.
You
think
don't
that
think you've been in a love bombing
weren't love bombed.
situation.
No, the thing is, in
But that
the
is-
past, I
that
have,
someone
and I
is
didn't
being love bombed
enjoy
and falling
it.
for like
I didn't enjoy it, but what I'm saying is, even in that experience, moving forward, if somebody
You
comes
still
with that
liked
same
it.
energy, it's not gonna be a red flag for me, unfortunately, because that's now become my love
It's
language.
pretty
I
much
enjoy
like
it.
the second part of that question pretty much said like, how do you feel about needing like validation early on? I'm somebody. One of my love languages is words of affirmation.
Yeah.
So it's like
Same.
somebody can like. can come through saying how much they feel about me, how much they want to fuck with me, how much they want me to be their girlfriend. I like to hear those types of things. That's how I like to be loved. So for me, I hear what she's saying. It's hard because it's like that's what I need in a relationship, and it's hard to decipher between somebody who genuinely fucks with me or somebody who's love bombing me and just saying whatever they think I want to hear to get my time and affection.
And it's sad now that I'm older. Like I can read through bullshit so quickly, and it just makes dating even harder. But that's one thing too. I need words of affirmation, and some of you men are just not doing it or giving it.
But now I'm
I like my niggas thirsty. But
no, the thing is, I do too. Not even that. That's what it is. Like you just need the right nigga to apply pressure. Because I think once you start seeing through the cracks in the early stages, then it's like it's not even. Because I wouldn't
think all men know how to apply pressure.
The only thing I'm worried about, whenever it comes to us like putting this definition out there of love bombing, I don't want people to think that if they are getting this type of attention, it's automatically a bad thing.
No, that's not.
And then
I think so in my experience, it was the gifts, the like literally the everything, the flowers, the dates, like on a consistent basis, and then like it just like out of nowhere, it was just like I think it happened like all in a day. Like I started seeing like. You know what? And through arguments, that's when I started picking up on behaviors. Like, okay, like when we argue, it's like you ready to like, not even like take all this shit. That was one of the things. I'm ready to take all this shit back. That was one red flag. But then also it was like, okay, well, I'm not obligated to your time. It was like the whole like, oh, we need to talk right now. Like, doesn't like the whole obligation to like your time when it's like I'm not busy right now. I can't like. I have like I'm at work. Like, what are you talking about talking right now? That's not adding up. It'd be different. It's like, hey, I really need to talk to you, right? The obligation to your time was magnified. Like when I cannot make it, I am not physically even in the same like state as you. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. And then also it was like, just the harmful words in the arguments, like
oh my god,
the harmful words, and then the whole like I said before, the repeating of the message after message after message after message after like that's too much for me. So I think even before it even blew up to become a bomb situation, there were red flags in between that I was just like, this may go left. This may go all the way left because I see I love what you're doing, but at the same time, there's something about this that's not sitting right with me. Yeah, and like I ended up being right. Yeah. So I just think it's like you can peep in between. It's different between like somebody who's genuine, like. For me, like, it just never really sat right with me. Like, the whole situation, like, something was like, this is too good to be true. Or it's like, something in the back of my head is like, and I think as a woman, you know, like, your woman intuition can kind of just be like, something's not right.
Let things play out.
So, something's not right. So I think, like, it wasn't just like, I was just like, green from jump. Like, I'm accepting all these gifts. In the back of my head, I was like, something's not right. So again, I think that like if you can be in a situation where you're talking to somebody, he's applying pressure and you like him equally, and it's like both y'all both like feeling this fire, that's one thing. But if you see like something's not right, it's probably going to be a love bomb situation, and that's how it was for me. And that's why I'm like,
and it's crazy because it's just like. In my situation, it's like I was definitely being love bombed. Like, you know, we're about to be in a relationship, this, that, and the third. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I'm not ready. You're ready. And I'm like, whoa. You've been talking about this, how you feel about me. This is the next step that you want to take. I've been very quiet. Like, I'm just going with the flow of things, what you're saying to me. So for you to turn around and throw it in my face like you're ready and I'm not, I haven't said shit. You did. So now I'm sitting here confused. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I've never even said anything more than what it has been. And it's just like, that's very manipulative because now it's got me feeling like I'm crazy. And I'm like, no, you said that. I didn't say shit.
And, you know, I low-key was in a similar situation. Someone told me that they weren't looking for a relationship, and I was like, okay, cool, platonic. Because, like, that's all.
Not platonic.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because friend, like, you're my friend. Like, we're only going to be friends. Because other than that, I'm not about to be playing with you. So then out of nowhere, now you caught feelings. And I mean, somewhere along the road, my feelings changed. Okay, so why did you not voice that? You know what I mean? And men are weird with that. And it's just weird. I don't know. And honestly, to piggyback off what you're saying, hurtful words, that is one thing to me. Like, y'all, if a man... I get it, y'all have different dynamics in your relationship, but one thing for me, you cannot talk to me any kind of way. And the moment you do, we are done. There's no coming back from it. Because I feel like that's how you feel about me. If you can muster up the courage to say certain words to me that are degrading and disrespectful, that is how you feel about me, and I can't fuck with you.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this. So in the situation where y'all were getting love bombed, was it like a blow up situation? You just never talked to them again, or was it kind of hard for you to pull out?
Of course it's hard for you to pull out. But you get to a moment where it's kind of like, you know what? Fuck this. Like, no.
Mine was a very long process. Mine was years. Mine was a journey.
No, mine was too. I'm not gonna lie, them gifts was pretty. Gifts was nice. It was hard to let them go.
It wasn't even about the gifts, you know. Like,
it's just like the energy, the vibes, the conversation.
It wasn't even just about the gifts as well. Like, it was also like whenever times were good, it was really
It was
good.
really good.
You know, like he
Right.
actually made me feel really good whenever times were good.
Mm-hmm.
But then whenever times were bad, they were bad as fuck. You know?
Mhm.
Right.
So eventually, like whenever I started to see that there were more bad times than good, that's when my eyes started to be like more
Yeah.
open to things. But in the, I don't want to say in the beginning, middle, some of the end, you know, there were more positive times. So I was like willing to continue to stick it out. But whenever, like you said, the words started getting worse in our arguments, our arguments started to get more frequent, the disrespect started to get more often. It was like, oh shit, like this is not really who you are. Like now you're really showing me.
It wasn't
You're a
even
monster.
like the bad outweighed the good. I think the good outweighed the bad, but for me it was like it just when the bad happened, it was just too detrimental. I was like, bro, it's not even worth it. Like everything you're doing is not worth it, bro. Like I would rather have my peace than you
If
sitting here yelling in my
disagreements
face.
affect like my energy to a point where it's like my week is fucked up and shit, I can't deal with it. Like I'm sorry, no. Like arguments are not supposed to be like that. You can have a disagreement and you always have to remember like we're not mad at each other, we're mad at this, right? And it's like the moment we start getting mad at each other, I'm off of it because it's like now you don't even know how to argue correctly. Like now you attacking me.
So I'm gonna kind of take it in a different direction. I'm gonna read something and get y'all's opinion on it. So it says, when you're so used to being love bombed, you'll quickly think that there's no chemistry when you finally meet a good guy. That's not about that shit because you're not feeling the quote unquote butterflies. Really, butterflies are just a nervous system response to you being love bombed. Butterflies signal you're anxious to please, anxious about having someone more with him because of how good he's making you feel with his love bombing. It says, understand that chemistry and real healthy bonds take time to grow and manifest into something more. You're used to instant gratification from a history of being love bombed, or either you're in a hurry to meet the one and can't be patient enough to take your time. This is the last part. It says, it takes time to learn what's good for us and accept it. We're so used to receiving what's bad for us. Challenge yourself to do something different to kill your old habits and conditioning.
Honestly.
And I'm just like, bro, I think we've all said on this podcast before, like, I know I've said it. I like to feel a certain type of way when I meet a guy. Like, I feel like I know within the first 5 minutes of me meeting somebody or texting somebody, if me and this person are going to vibe. It is based on how they approach me and how they try to get to know me. And if I don't get that, I have no interest in really trying to get to know them at that point. I feel like I know, and I'm like, that no is probably me being love bombed. You know what I mean? So
I guess it just depends on the person's concept of time, though. You know, like I think that definition is easy to be said, but like I said, I don't want to put it out there. Like just because you do have those feelings, that means you're being love bombed. I don't agree with that. Just because you actually have butterflies in your stomach for somebody, it doesn't mean that later on in the line now they're going to turn
be
into
a love bomb.
Yeah,
No, that's not the case.
Kind of aggressive.
Yeah. So it's like I get where that person is coming from. Like love does take time, and you know love grows over time. But to say that there's not love at first sight, I'm still like a sucker for like romance. I think there is.
There is.
But I think you also have to like take into consideration like what is people's intents behind like doing so much so early. Like listen,
You might love me, girl.
Yeah, like let him love me.
I'm not against a man showing me he loves me.
I
Love
did
bomb
not
me.
say that,
Love bomb
Paulette.
me,
That's
bro.
not the
Just
narrative
love
we're gonna
you.
spin.
No,
We're not
just
spinning the narrative. I'm
love
just
you.
saying
No.
from my point of
Just
view.
love
But
you.
that's not what I'm saying because I think it again it depends on the intentions behind all this. Like by month 2, why do you love me? What are you talking about?
I mean,
By month 2, we just met.
it kind of goes back to what Nikki's
why are you
saying.
feeling so
though.
strong? Like again, when you like, you could lay it on thick in a healthy manner. But again, like you just met this person, you want them to love you by month 2. I
But,
mean,
like, but
okay,
think
okay,
about
okay.
it.
No, okay, yeah, you're
Yes.
right. But
Maybe
again,
if they're
I think it's
consistent,
different.
but
y'all are
it also
consistently talking, dating.
in some situations it does not make sense. Like
A lot
we're
of it,
we're
yeah.
talking, we're texting,
Yeah.
we haven't even spent that much time together, and you're in love. That's intense.
But I also think it depends on, again, your like, what's your love language?
Words of affirmation.
Is it really?
Yeah,
You think so?
I know so.
Okay.
Not you think so. Like I don't know myself.
I mean, I don't know.
No, words of affirmation.
I was expecting you to say that. I was
No,
expecting you
but
to say it, I'm not
for
gonna lie.
me-
so you feel like you need a lot of reassurance in relationships.
I don't say I need it, but I like it. I actually do love it. That's
And you
a
value
love
that over
language.
quality time and gifts.
Words of affirmation, yes, I
Okay.
do. So quality time, I think words of affirmation and quality time would be like my top 2.
Okay.
So I can't, but over gifts, yes. So, but I think again, it just depends on their intent. For my situation and my experience, by month 2, you sitting here talk about like how much your love. It wasn't adding up to me because I just met you, so I just was like, "What?" It's like
maybe the L word is a bit aggressive.
Yeah, that was aggressive, and that's why I'm saying
it. Was L word?
Yes, like that's a lot. Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Why do you even know my middle name? What you talking about? Like, what are you
I feel by month number 2 they should know your middle name.
By month 2, I'm not. No,
Really?
if I just met you. I'm not giving you my full government by month
60 days.
Yeah.
Paulette, no. I'm sorry.
Next thing you know, he buying nuclear weapons in your name.
Yeah.
No,
Like, I'm sorry.
A middle name? I mean, I don't know.
Hear yourself?
No,
like,
It depends on how often y'all are talking.
if y'all are
Date of
consistently
birth?
dating and like consistency here, like
No.
it's not a thing where you're on and off talking to them every other 2
Those are
weeks and all
passport
that.
security questions. No, you're gathering info. I'm just kidding.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're. So I'm gonna ask y'all a question. You're gonna tell me that y'all never dealt with someone you didn't know their first, middle, and last name.
Yes, I have.
I did.
Okay, so
But that's if we didn't get to month 3, I don't know. I don't know how to spell your last name.
okay,
I mean,
okay.
it depends. Like,
Sorry, I don't run a background check.
I'll be honest
It's not
with
about
you.
running back. I'm just saying, like in general, like knowing things about people. Like
I mean,
you're saying you
can
need
know
6 months to do that.
I think you can know
Nah, I
things
don't
about
know.
people.
I don't need
though.
6
You can
months. I'm
know-
saying if we made it to 6
Yeah.
months, it's because I invested time in you. Just because I talked to you for 2 months does not mean that I need to know everything about
Oh,
you. You gotta-
absolutely. I'm just saying, but I'm just saying. After 2 months, you're saying that you wouldn't know someone's middle. This is my
I really
question.
don't know a lot of
No.
people's middle.
Interesting.
I don't even know
You
some
may
of my
be one of
friends'
the 3
middle
niggas I'm
names.
talking to. I don't know your middle
Paulette,
name,
do
but I
you
know
know
my
my
main
middle
niggas.
name?
No.
Okay then. So what are you
Wow.
talking
What are we
about?
doing?
That has nothing to do with my conversation. I'm just asking a question. Y'all now trying to personalize it. I'm just asking.
The original statement was about love, like loving in a short. It doesn't even matter. 2 months, we can put however many times. For me, it was too much, too soon. So it could have been 6 weeks. It could have been 3, whatever. For me, I personally felt like it was
Yeah.
too much, too soon because I had just met that person. So it's like for you to be saying all these feelings and how strongly you feel about me when it's like I don't even know you like that. For me, it was intense, and that's why I was like, I should have saw that as like. Which I did see it as like a red flag. And for me, it was like, okay, like I'm not even gonna put my all into this. And I'm glad that I didn't because it turned out to be a love bombing situation to where it was like,
But have
it
y'all
just became
ever
too much.
have y'all ever been in a situation where
gloss on anymore?
have y'all ever been in a situation where in the beginning you're the one saying like, hey, let's take things slow, like let's take our time.
yes.
Yeah.
But then later on, have you ever liked that person so much and they're actually almost taking their time too much that now you like kind of regret saying those words?
that, yeah.
Yeah, but mainly because I know that the reason I was saying that was because they was applying so much pressure in the beginning that I was like, okay, you know what? Let's slow it down so we can make things work. And then I realized it is similar to love bombing where you were saying all that so I could put all my eggs into your basket. And once I put all my eggs in your basket, you started taking your time and dragging your feet.
Yeah.
But do you think so? What if they were just saying what if they're now saying, I was just listening to what you were telling me?
That's cap. That's manipulation. Because no, how do you go from wanting to be in a relationship with somebody and then when actually time progresses?
Maybe not even just like being in a, maybe not even like that. Like, but you can tell that they're like really putting all their time and energy into you in the beginning, you know? But you felt like it was like coming on a little too strong. And so you're telling them like repeatedly, like, hey, like, let's take things slow. Like, let's really get to know each other. And they finally like take into consideration your words and they might scale it back a little bit. But now you've grown to like this person so much that you kind of like the speed that y'all were going at.
I'm not gonna lie. Because I feel like I've done that. I've been in a situation like that, but that's because it's toxic.
Okay.
It's because you like the person when they're applying pressure, and so you fall back. But as soon as they fall back, then you want to fall forward, and then it just becomes a yo-yo cycle where you kind of want what you can't get, or you feel like you're losing them and you want them back. So in that situation, I feel like maybe.
That's why I said it depends on your intent behind it. Because if you're doing all these things with the intentions of them to make you feel exactly how they feel in that moment, it's kind of just like, instead of just letting it genuinely happen, then it's like, I think that's when it becomes like muddy waters. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
so,
that makes sense.
I don't know, y'all.
Yeah.
But yeah, my experience was a little bit traumatic. I'm not gonna lie. my experience was actually, and it's actually very triggering to talk about. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it is. But yeah, I just.
That's the thing. Like, I really agree with you, Crystal, because my situation, it's so crazy y'all put love bomb to it because I never like put that definition to it. I just thought it was like downright abusive at that point.
I mean, it is. It is. If we're being real, it is. Like,
this is not to be confused. This
is not to be. This is very much so abuse. Like, and it doesn't have to be like a physical abuse situation.
It was
just like we
definitely
talked
like mental.
about. Yeah, it's definitely mental abuse. It's emotional abuse. Like all those kind of things. Like those are not okay. And that's why I'm like, no, go ahead. You're good. Go ahead, Nikki.
The walkie shit. I see here sitting. Like, did she love you? Did she love me back?
Wait,
Yeah, you
Damn,
tried
you
it.
hit the spot.
You tried it.
I'm childish. I'm sorry, guys.
Waukesha.
But yeah,
Whack-
nah. I
Whack
don't know.
Michelle.
Y'all been coming for me. What's good, bro?
Okay, so have
Not
y'all
calling you
ever
Whack
heard
Michelle.
of the 2-week pipeline?
No.
What is
I'm
that?
gonna read it to you. It says being infatuated with each other for 2 weeks to realizing y'all have absolutely nothing in common pipeline. Have you ever experienced that before?
Yeah, it's called a rebound. Oh my
Period.
gosh! As soon as your ex hit you back, you like, man, I don't know what I'm doing.
Literally.
I was really gonna. I have never experienced that, but I do want to ask. Like, we can answer this later. Like, how do y'all really know the the difference between like infatuation, lust, and like possible love?
You don't until it stops, right?
No, that's crazy though. Like, I don't know. I feel like until it's like
infatuation and lust run together.
Yeah.
They do. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
they
Like,
do.
those two
Yeah.
kind of go together.
Are
But how can
synonymous.
how can you now tell the difference between like that and like it being like real? Like y'all really like having genuine feelings.
I feel like when it comes to love,
She wasn't
like
intuition, child. We don't know.
when it comes to
She's your
love, like
intuition.
you show me like without a doubt.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I think when you're in that lust infatuation stage, that you can think you love somebody, but it's just
Yeah.
like sometimes you're still in that idea where you're in love with the thought of somebody and not really that person.
Person.
So I feel like with time you kind of realize when you actually love someone
Yeah.
versus like being infatuated.
So how long do you like? 'Cause I know you put infatuation like pipeline to like 2 weeks, but do you
Mhm.
feel like infatuation can go for a long period of time?
Yeah.
It can.
Yeah, because people, I
Go
mean,
for
people
years.
always like they don't show you who they really are. Like you're
Mhm.
getting an audition version of them. Like
Mhm.
everyone's gonna show their best self, their perfect image of them, and it's just like until they finally decide to show you the real them, that can last however long until you really meet the real
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So
I agree. 'Cause I feel like love is love when you like you love the bad shit about them too. I feel like lust is when, oh my gosh, he's so fine. He's this, he does that. But love is when you just like, man, that nigga stink. And I love how he smells in the morning, even though it's not the pleasant. Or even when he gets mad at me, like
You go
it's
kiss him in
cool.
his morning
Yeah,
breath. 'cause
like, you
you a
can pick his-
gremlin.
You could pick
That's
his
fucking why.
nose. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I knew the
Like,
perk was.
Yeah.
I knew
You're
the
a
perk was
fucking
fake,
gremlin.
but I
When you
took
start
it
acting
serious.
like a gremlin behind that
Yeah.
nigga, that's how you know you're
Yeah.
in love. For
I
real.
knew the nigga was. Hey, let me shut up. I was gonna say I knew the nigga was toxic, but I still fuck because I'm a gremlin. But it's cool.
Yeah.
Fucking gremlin.
But
Shit.
the 2 week infatuation period, have I ever been down that?
I don't think I
Maybe
haven't.
not 2 weeks. But I've been
Yeah,
in
like a few
infatuation
months.
situations
Yeah.
for real.
But to say like nothing in common, we don't have nothing in common. But why am I infatuated with you?
It's just the vibes.
Sometimes-
girl.
Yeah, it's just
Sometimes
it's
it's
the
like-
conversation, the energy, like a new energy you've never experienced.
Mhm.
What you
know
doing today? Let's go here. What you doing tomorrow? Like it can happen really quickly.
Yeah.
Like people try to show you a good time, and it's just like
Literally.
I want to see you.
It
Until
can happen
they're
so
not a
quick
good
to the
time.
point where it's like you meet them. Next thing you know, like y'all go out on a date the next day. Next thing you know, you're at their house
Oh my God,
every day,
yeah.
and then next thing you know, it's been
That's
2
how it
weeks,
went.
and you've been at their house for
Clockwork.
2 weeks,
Nah.
and then you like,
Girl,
and then one
stand
day,
up.
Second job.
and then one day you just wake up and you're like, who is this nigga?
Who is this
Literally.
nigga?
Mm-mm.
The
This is-
fuck? What is
this
your
is-
credit score?
this
Why
is-
am I here?
This is PTSD.
no,
No,
I feel you.
Yeah.
You know what? And the fact that I even said that it was triggering earlier, and like I'm realizing now, like, so there's a guy who's interested in me, and he's texting me or whatever, and he texted me. He was like, "I really like you," and I was just like, "Why?" Because
That's me.
well, no,
No, I said that's me.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I said
no.
that's me.
because-
Why?
In one sense, I'm like, okay, like it's early. The same thing. We haven't barely talked. Like we actually
Mhm.
don't talk at all.
Okay.
We text a few times a week.
What if
if
don't
that,
talk? That's talking.
If that, a few texts
Yeah.
a week. If that.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so like he could genuinely like me based off of what we've texted on. That's fine. But for me, I automatically go into defense mode because it's like, why do you like me so like why are you
Has
saying you
he-
like me? If this
Has
is too
he been around you before? Like,
No, I've never met him
Okay.
in person.
Oh.
So
because
that's
sometimes people can experience your energy. It's like,
But
dang,
even
like,
if-
you
even
know,
if-
like I like how I
yeah.
feel around her. Like,
true.
let me
true,
see what
true.
it's about.
No, we've never met. So for
Okay.
me, like even if we did, it's like it's still too soon. So I automatically go into defense mode. Like, why do you like me? It's too soon. It's too
Why
early.
are you
like,
saying this?
yeah, like for me but that's also because I'm traumatized. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when guys say that, and this is not to say like the guys don't be liking women. I feel like they don't really mean it, but I do feel like what they're trying to say is I'm trying to intentionally date you. Like but I don't feel like men really know how to communicate their feelings.
I don't know
like
if it's
that.
even intentionally date. I think that's what they think we want to hear.
But it's not. Because
but
to
sometimes
me,
I
it's
feel like
actually a turnoff.
guys.
So
are
how
the-
would y'all feel if a guy like texts you right now that's been like trying to talk to you, like, hey, look, I want us to like take each other serious, like, and see where this goes? What would be your response?
No, who
your
the hell are
actions need to
you?
follow up with that then because he has said that. But it's like
No, I'm just asking y'all, what would be y'all's response to that?
Depends-
If someone
your actions
messaged
depends
need
you
to
on the
follow
nigga.
up
and
with it.
said, you know what I mean? Like, Your
don't-
action should follow with that. That's your response. Okay.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's nobody that could text my phone and get.
I'm
a
just
yes
saying
from me
in
right
general.
now.
In general, if someone like you were consistently like y'all, not consistent, like y'all talk, like of course, like y'all have hung out, this, that, here and there, and they're just like, look, let's like try to take each other serious and see where this goes. Like basically, are playing cat and mouse in a way, and someone just steps to the place like, hey, look, I like you, you like me. Let's try to see where this goes.
But-
Like,
and
why we
again,
playing?
let's get to know each other.
So what would be your response to that?
Okay, let's get to know each other.
Yeah. let's do
Okay.
it.
Again, actions have to follow. Because I feel like that is what we're talking about, love bombing. Like, I've experienced niggas say that to me and really just be playing in my face. So it's kind of
Yeah.
just like, if that's truly how you feel about me,
Mm-hmm.
then let your actions follow that.
And I feel like this goes back to our motto. Was it motto or Petty Chronicle? Like a couple episodes ago, where she was
yeah.
talking about like they both sat down and had that conversation that they were going to be monogamous, and then she found the condom in the trash can.
Oh, it's last episode, yeah.
Was that last episode?
Mhm.
Dang. Okay, so yeah, so that I think that's like exact same thing. It's like, yeah, we can sit down and you can tell me all these things you want, you know, but your actions have to follow suit.
Yeah.
bruh. And that just leads me, oh my gosh, like, I said it and I'm gonna keep saying it. Like, bro, when it comes to dating, like, I feel like the issue with men for sure is like, they always think the grass is greener somewhere else. So they can have all
Yeah.
these feelings for you. They
Yeah.
can really want to get to know you, but in the back of their head, you might be lacking one thing that they feel like they just have to have, and they're gonna
Mhm.
continue to pursue other women until they feel like they
Mhm.
get everything that they want. And I'm just like, bro, like, y'all actually gonna miss out on something good by trying to
But that's
to
how
get
it
that
is.
perfect
They settle.
individual.
They settle for whatever because they're
You know
not
what,
man
though,
enough
but
to go after what they want.
I don't
So,
even
is
in
what
love
it
bombing
is.
situations by definition. I don't even know if like it's because I feel like if they're too invested in one person versus like multiple women, you know.
Nah, that's the thing. That's why you think that's what they want you to believe. It's like
Yeah.
this nigga spends so much time with me. He does not have time for other women.
True, you're right.
Look at Simon
And they
Levy.
do.
No, trust me.
And they do.
Trust me, girl.
They'll
I've been
find
there.
the time. You didn't
You
see
see-
what's it called? I mean, this is just allegedly. One of the football players, one of the Diggs brothers, had two women in the same hotel room on Valentine's Day. How do you find the time?
I'm not gonna lie. I
Imagine.
learned a long time ago. Like,
Man,
you
have
you
time.
think when does he have?
No,
He'll find
He'll
it.
find time.
He'll find it. So I had to
find it.
stop. I had to remove time from the
Literally.
table. Like,
He will
you can
find
think, oh, we talk all day
Literally.
long.
That's not what I was getting at. But no, I agree with y'all. That's not what.
And
I
that's
was
a
getting at.
scary thing to even think about. It's like,
Yeah. I mean,
things
this is
people are
not
doing.
even to like. I hope we don't. I feel not listen to the podcast. It could destroy y'all.
No, okay. Let's talk about
You
the
will
pros and
love,
cons.
like,
Then are
men
there
will
pros
never
and
love
cons
you.
to
They
it?
won't. But you need to. I'm just kidding. But
no, that's not it. Just be wary because again, not everybody's intentions are genuine. Not everybody's intentions are pure.
listen
But
to
some
your
people's
intuition.
intentions
But
are
some people
genuine.
are.
Listen to your
And some people's
intuition.
Yeah.
are
Like,
pure.
honestly.
give that nigga in your DMs a chance. Let the nice guy take you
I
out.
didn't say that.
I did.
I would say
Okay.
sometimes like if your intuition is speaking to you, listen to it. Like, what is
Yeah,
the whole
that's
point
what
of
I would
like
say.
dodging your intuition? Like that, I'm not gonna lie. That's one thing that keeps it real with you. Like sometimes you already
Intuition.
know
Sometimes
before
you
you
just
know.
know.
Okay,
Yeah.
True, but
So-
don't let your trauma lead you because sometimes your trauma will have you thinking a nigga is out to get you. When in actuality, he could be a good person, but
Just
you're letting
be
your past
wary.
PTSD just
Mhm.
enter the
Mhm.
equation.
So are there any pros to love bombing?
The gifts, the
The,
money.
the thing,
telling
like
you.
the materialistic
I'm
thing.
telling you.
Can't take Zales back.
I guess
I'm
From a
telling
materialistic
you.
perspective, that's the pro.
Yeah.
I know.
A con,
and I feel like
it's
the
deadly
time,
to your
the
soul.
yeah.
Sorry.
I feel like another pro is like once you experience that, like you
know
move
what
a
it
little bit
is.
smarter going forward.
Mhm.
Like you kind of have like
Do you?
I would say con.
I
too.
still be okay.
I would say
Taking
con-
everything.
Taking everything.
Only reason
I'm
I say
taking
it is
everything.
Long throats.
I'm gonna get my gifts, hun.
No,
long
I'm gonna
throats.
get my gift for
It's
this
gonna be
fucking
I
trauma.
would
This
say
is
that's a con,
reparations.
because it's like now, like you're gonna be expecting that from like every person that comes your way.
I feel like for me, I look at it
Let's be
differently
real.
because like I said earlier, like
You see it for what it is.
I see it for what it is because it's like I felt like, okay, maybe I'm not ready for this, but this person is telling me they're ready for it.
Mhm.
And so I was open to it because of what they were saying to me. And now I'm like, no, like if I'm not ready for that, let's
You're not ready
slow
for
it
it.
down.
Yeah.
And so I feel like for me in that aspect,
You move
that can never
smarter.
happen again because
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
we're gonna move on Jori's time. Like you can say how you felt me all day long. I want to take it slow.
Yeah, just choose yourself and always just be
So-
honest in the situation.
Yeah.
I think some people get
sure.
tricked into being in a relationship when it's like, if you're not ready, just state that in the beginning. Like, look,
Mhm.
I am not trying to be in a relationship right
I
now.
done been tricked before.
Another word of advice is like if you are in a situation with somebody who is kind of like throwing finances in your way, like giving you money, be able to stand on your own. Be able to stand on your own, because once that shit goes away, because they will use that is a manipulative tactic, trying to use gifts and try to put money because they know you need it or they feel like you need it and they feel like you need them, like trying to make you rely on them. Just be able to stand on your own, because listen, you want to be able to get at that situation whenever you want to, whenever you can. Like if the nigga's not paying your rent, you need to be able to pay your rent on your own.
Yeah, that's one thing I stress to my one thing, financially will never be depending on no man.
No, I don't care how much
I am
nigga
married and we in something, and even then I'm not dependent on you because I'm gonna have my own. At the end of the day, like every woman should strive to have their own, because at the end of the day, it does not matter how good someone is treating you. Shit will get dark real fast, and be able to stand through that storm on your own, because it's gonna be you that gonna have yourself through that situation. And so I just hate seeing so many women go through that same cycle of like, I don't have anything, this and that. No, be smart.
No,
put that money up, do something. Like, don't be sitting here just going here buying all these bags and shit, and then once the shit starts being green, now I don't got money, I don't know what to do. Like, you knew what to do, you just didn't do it right. So
I don't care how much I don't care how much a nigga says he got me. I'm always gonna have me.
Yeah,
like you can say it all day long, but I'm still gonna have me in the back.
And men play off that real. As soon as a man like
feels like you need him,
like, I don't want you to work, and as soon as you stop working, they're like, I got you.
It's just feel like as soon as a man feels like you need him.
And they can't never get me not to work.
Like what?
Shit.
I thought I read this book.
For me.
I thought I read this book, and this girl literally
never a nigga.
I thought I read this book. This girl literally was in college, and she was dating this guy, older man, and literally she graduated. He said, I don't want you to work. She didn't work. Girl, she had an abortion, right, without him knowing, right? He found out, literally called her to dinner. You need to be out of my house by tomorrow. And she was like, okay. I get, people with money know everything. So he was like, you think I wasn't gonna find out about the abortion? She's like, oh, whatever. She's like, I mean, okay, I need to grab my thing. He's like, no, you talking about the clothes, the bag and stuff I bought you? He's like, those are my assets.
Oh, hell no.
He had already washed her clothes that she came into the house with, dry cleaned everything, packed her suitcases, and bought her a one-way ticket.
Is this a book? Or
it's called Her Secret Life or something. And like, it was really good. And I was reading it was triggering. I'm just like, the way men will just pull the rug from under you.
I'm telling you.
And she literally had to go to a homeless shelter. She was living on the street for 24 hours and had to go to a homeless shelter.
Bro.
Literally.
I'm telling you. Like,
but he loves you.
Be able to stay, because I'm telling you, them gifts, all that shit look real good in the beginning. And you gonna, just don't, because there are women who have played into that narrative, and they did stop working, and they did stop, whatever their stream of income, or they stopped their motivation. Like, they maybe didn't go to school, or they maybe didn't take that extra step as far as like working on them goes, but it never ends up good.
Some girl literally just tweeted the other day, she's like, she was like a bottle girl, and she was like, my dude was like, I don't want you to be a bottle girl no more, like, cool, I'll pay your bills.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, when it came time for my bills to be due, he asked me, is that all you want me for? She was like, I was on the schedule that weekend. Facts. Like, what the fuck?
And that's another thing, niggas be backtracking, like, nigga, you just told me you don't want me to work, and now you watch your mouth open.
Now I'm asking for this bag, and you're questioning what are my intentions when I ask you for a bag of Chanel. What? We're not gonna do this.
All right, y'all.
But anyways, y'all, this wraps up another great episode with Petty Party. Follow us on Instagram, Petty Party Pod. Sorry, y'all, I'm choking up, so I sound a little weird. But if you have any questions, send us an email at pettyparty12814@gmail.com with your motos. Or if you want us to share a petty chronicle as well for you, we'll keep you anonymous, of course. This your girl, Paulette, coming out the set, signing out.
Y'all, and make sure y'all subscribe. If you like this video, hit the like button, and make sure y'all leave a comment. Hashtag whatever y'all got to do to show love to us. Signing out, it's your girl Crystal, a.k.a. Champagne Chris, a.k.a. Chrissy F. Baby. Peace out.
Bye, guys. It's Jori, a.k.a. Ali Gabor.
Bye, y'all. Peace. It's Michelle, a.k.a. Shelly Says, a.k.a. Eat to be nasty.
And to backtrack off of Crystal, make sure you run up those likes. Pub. Put us out there. Put your girls on there. You never
share.
Tell a friend.
One day we might be on the TV screen in front of you. So it's just Nick checking out. Bye.
Bye, guys.